why I'm angry with people these days.
Yeah, I would. I
You
would.
got a problem?
Well, I
You
would
got a
talk to a
problem?
therapist. I
You're
don't know
gonna
about a
try to
thesis of.
talk shit to people who are angry? I wouldn't poke that bear, dude.
Yeah, man.
So why
How
are
do you
you
think
such a
Trump?
dork?
Do you think that's like an insult? Do you think like this is the
Yes, that's
1950s
why
and
I
that's supposed
said
to be an
it, dude.
insult?
That's why I said it.
What's a dork?
Cause you
What are,
look, cause you
what's a
look and
dork?
act like a fucking dweeb, dude.
Well, I thought I was a dork. Now I'm a dweeb.
You're both, dude. You encapsulate the whole nerdery of it all, dude.
Okay, now I'm a nerd, dweeb, a dork.
No, you're not a nerd, but you encapsulate the whole nerdery. You are not even smart enough to be a fucking nerd like I am, dude. I'd fucking run circles around you if this was in a platform that you didn't control. But you
Go
have
for
to
it.
control. This is the only way you can try
Go
to
for it,
force
man.
people to
I'll tell
listen
you
to
what. I
your
won't mute
fucking
you. I
nonsense.
won't mute you. Say whatever you need to say.
Wow, you're so gracious.
I know.
So, incels, that's what I came on here before you decided to be a douchebag. I asked you quite innocently, what is your problem, or do you have a problem with incels? And then you went on some kind of hateful fucking bullshit.
I think
Because
you've been the one talking this
some
entire time.
people are
I actually haven't been
involuntarily,
speaking. I think you're projecting. You're the one who's been speaking this
some
entire
people
time.
are involuntarily celibate, and other people are voluntarily celibate. Do you have a problem with either one of that? Do
Yeah,
you have a
so you're missing
problem?
part of the definition where there's a hatred towards women. It's combined.
Incel has something to do with hate.
It's
Oh.
oh yes, it is. It's combined with a hatred towards women, right? If you're
So
involuntarily
ugly ass
celibate
motherfucker ain't
without
an
that part, then
incel.
that's fine.
If you're too ugly to get laid, you're not an incel.
No, an incel would be someone who blames women for their problems. For that,
Oh, see me, I just took it literally. It's an acronym, not acronym, but it's a shorthand for involuntarily celibate. It's for
right?
people
That's
who
part of
can't
it.
get laid.
Yeah,
You're basically insulting them and saying they can't get laid.
right.
And
But
there
that's
are a
not the
lot of
entire
people such as
definition.
yourself that can't get laid, dude.
Yeah, that's not the entire definition, though. It's
So
paired with
you
a
got a
hatred towards
problem
women,
with
as I
people
said.
that can't get laid?
I have a problem with people that have a hatred towards women. They blame their celibacy on that. Yeah.
That's nice, dude. Nobody wants people to hate. I don't want people to hate on other people regardless of their gender, dude. I don't care if you're a woman. I would defend a man as quickly as I would defend a woman. Why? Because I believe in equal rights I believe in gender equality, dude.
You sure?
But you don't.
What?
You
Give
keep
me an
putting
example
women
of
on
where
a
I don't.
pedestal because
Give me
you
an
hope that
example of
one
where I
day
don't.
one of them is going to touch your
Give me
ding
an
dong.
example of where I don't.
What?
Give me an example of where I don't believe in equal rights or treatment, whatever it is you said. Give me an example.
I don't live inside your ridiculous
Well,
brain,
then how
dude.
can
So
you make the claim?
you'll have to share that with me.
Well, then how can you make the claim then?
You can make whatever claim. Okay,
Well, you
I
can, but if
believe
you don't have
that
any
you
examples to
are.
back it up,
I
then it sounds
believe
a little
that you
odd.
touch little kids, dude.
If you
I
don't
can make
if you
that
don't
claim.
have an example to back it up, then it makes you sound a little ridiculous.
Well, you should tell all your liberal friends that when they call everybody Nazis.
Okay. Can you tell me
You know
why
what I
you
mean?
think? Can
I
you give
know
me an
this guy. Well,
example?
I just like shut that guy down in a moment, dude.
Okay. Can
You
you give
didn't
me
know
an
how to
example?
answer that,
Well,
did you?
we're not pivoting.
I,
You don't have any examples of where I advocate for unequal treatment towards women.
say it again, mumble rap. What'd you say?
You don't have any examples of where I advocate for unequal treatment towards women.
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
When you feel that women need to be protected more than men, that is misogyny.
What do you mean protected more than men?
When you think that women are weaker than men, so men need to protect women.
Who
When
says
do I
that?
say? First of
When
all,
has Doug
people on
ever
the
said
right
that?
are the ones that say women are weaker than men. People on the left don't
Yeah.
typically say that.
When
Oh,
has
but
Doug
I
made that
know
statement?
her.
No,
I
Guy.
know
When
her.
has
You
Doug?
came into my
No,
store.
Guy. When has Doug made that statement?
What?
He's not going to be able to
When
give me
has
an
Doug
example.
ever made a statement like that?
When he was talking about how men need to not be mean to women. Do you
He-
believe? Okay, so
I didn't say
we'll
anything
just
about weakness, and I didn't
okay.
say
So
not be mean to women.
we'll just
You're just
approach it
making
now.
shit
Then
up, dude.
we'll just focus on it now because you
No,
do
well,
not
I
want
want
to
you to
admit your
define.
own
No,
sexism.
I want you
Okay,
to define.
do you feel that men need to protect
Okay,
women?
let's let you crash out for a second.
Do you
He's
feel
been
that
crashing
men
on this
need to
entire time.
protect women? This guy
I
can't
know.
even answer. He hasn't answered any of my questions. Do you feel that men need to protect women?
Can you answer my question first, and then I'll respond to
No,
yours?
I'll answer that.
Well,
You
no,
guys
because you
answer.
said
Dude, you gotta
no, no,
answer her
guys.
question first.
You
I'll
said
answer after you.
Well, that's
no.
not how it
So,
works.
guys, you said a word.
Oh, okay.
wrong.
See, you are a white knight, dude.
No. You
You
said
have
a
to
word
come.
wrong. No,
You have to.
guys.
You only do that because
Okay.
she's a girl,
No,
and that's
guys.
what makes you a
What?
misogynist.
Guys, keep
Okay.
tapping, sharing. We're looking for opposition.
Because you belittle women and their power.
Uh-huh.
So answer the question if you can. I mean, if you can't, or if you're too ashamed of what you were going to say, then I already know what you were going to say.
Okay.
Or else, if you feel that women, if I ask a MAGA
Guy,
person,
can you hear me now? Cool, great. No,
I
Guy,
ask a MAGA
define the
person-
word misogyny. Define the word misogyny.
No, you define it. If you don't know the word,
You claimed that Doug was. You claimed that when men. You claimed when men. You claimed when men make the statement that men should protect women. You said that's misogyny. Define it.
Okay, when you define misogyny,
Yes.
do you understand what misogyny means?
I am a woman. Yes.
Just answer the
Okay,
question.
When you have
dude.
some kind of like hatred or aversion towards women
Correct.
or
Okay.
females, I should say.
Well, women. So again,
No, not all women
when
are
you are
females,
talking
though.
about the patriarchal idea that women are weak, you are acting in misogyny. Your statement
That's
about
what I
that
was
primarily
telling
comes from
him.
the right.
That's what I was telling him, Puff
He's
Cow.
never once said that. Me as a woman does not need a man to do what I need to do. I am
know,
very
and so-
capable and I can do
So
things
then
better
you should
than
be
most
able
men.
to answer the question. Does it upset you that he can't answer that question?
I've
No,
answered
why
any
would it
question
upset
that you
me?
ask,
It
but
doesn't upset
you
you.
ask
So then you
different
have no
questions one
integrity.
after another. Dude,
So then
you're
you
just
have-
here
how do
to
I
be. You're just here to be performative. You're not here to actually have a conversation or anything that is productive in the least bit. You're just because for some reason you can't do your own. You can't do your own lives anymore for whatever reason. So you're just here to be performative. Everyone sees past your bullshit performance. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. We are looking for opposition.
Talk
I mean,
about
this fucking
misogyny.
Puff Cow
Vaginas
is
are
trying to
very
protect-
strong. You know that? Vaginas can take a beating.
I didn't.
I would say you're acting more like a taint, Guy. You're much more of a taint.
Referring to. I know you.
You
guys
you are
just
you are
really
much more of a
think that
taint
once you
because I love it
mob
when men
but I could knock
get
you out
so
in the
uncomfortable
same punch.
that
What slur
all
did
they
he say? Did he
can
say
do is
slur?
sit there and mumble.
Did he say?
Did you
his
say
one?
slur?
Well, he's not going to admit to it. What did he say?
I don't know. Did you shut the fuck up long enough to hear somebody else?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just drop you.
You would have.
I just wanted to annoy him.
That
I can go
guy's
ahead and drop
annoying.
me so ops can come up.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop me so ops can come up.
All
Bye,
right.
Dougie.
All right, I love take care, Katsina. All right, well, keep tapping and sharing, guys. We're looking for ops. Just be better than that guy if you're able to. Yeah, bro, you're not gonna come back up. You can try again a different day when I forget about your profile name. I'm gonna block you. At least yet, but. Like, what's the point of speaking to you, man? Like, you're not here. You can't even spell pussy right. You can't even spell it correctly. Oh, shit. Sorry, David. Nerds are hot. Thank you, David, for the donation on the blue with a V. Clowns are not. Yeah, no, he definitely used to have another I know it because number one, he didn't deny it, and two, he has a very distinct voice. He used to have other live streams. He used to run live streams. His name was the Joker, and he would talk about topics, and as soon as he would get cornered or like cooked on a certain point, he would drop the guests and then make excuses and then go on to some other guests that agreed with him to make himself feel better. He would do that every single time. And I guess he doesn't have that account anymore. But he's also like a 60-year-old dude who, like, as he live stream, would I can't even say it on TikTok, but he would smoke, I guess. I don't want to say what. He would just do it just in the middle of a live stream, which was really weird. He would sit there shirtless with a thing in his mouth just smoking. Very attractive. Very attractive. I don't remember many people, but that one somehow left a memory in my head. Sauce, what's up? Hey, man.
I don't know, man. You had some person invite me up. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, do you want to speak? Want to talk or?
No. I just made some comment. I think it's kind of comical. You can sit there and call people incels, but
yeah,
like you sit inside all day on a computer. It's kind of contradictory. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I think I've talked to you before. Yeah.
Well, I literally just came back from the gym working out clients, so I wasn't inside on a computer there.
That's fine.
So
just comments. Yeah.
But that's not the definition of an incel. Somebody can sit on a computer all day and not be an incel.
Yeah. Usually, like an incel is somebody that usually spends most of their day on the internet and kind of talks about women, but has no relationship with anybody.
Well, no, an incel is someone who's involuntarily celibate per the involuntary celibate.
Yeah, correct. And I just described the actions that they usually pertain to. So,
okay. Are you able to provide proof that I'm involuntarily celibate?
No, I don't need to. I don't think you're seeking my validation here.
Right.
But if you are, then that's a whole nother topic that you should focus on yourself.
Did you vote for Trump?
So, that's all, man. Did I vote for Trump? No, I voted for somebody. That's it. But take care and have a good day, dude.
Well, okay. Well, that was a riveting conversation. Off to a great start. Just terrific, very, very entertaining conversations. Pointless to say the least, Christina. I'm telling you guys, this is all that is left, right? After everything that's come about Trump until this point, we're a year into the administration, a year and some small change. All of the things that he's mentioned in the JE files, it's kind of hard to support the guy at this point, and I just think it's just the bottom of the barrel at this point. That's defending him. Hence the last two guests. I mean, the last couple of lives, I really can't think of a guest that I've gotten, maybe one that was like reasonable-ish, relatively speaking, you know. But we'll see. Hello.
So basically, I got from this.
Hey man, how old are you?
38.
Okay, what's up?
You sit at your computer all day and you can't get laid. You hate America and you're anti-Trump. Is that what I'm getting?
You can prove some of those things. You could try.
So yes, correct.
Well, can you prove them? Can you prove them?
And I prove that you sit at your computer all day.
Yeah.
You're on TikTok all day, so yeah. That's
well, how many hours do you think I'm streaming on TikTok per day?
Why don't you tell us how many hours a day?
Well, you're the one who made the claim, so why don't you tell us?
Okay, so I don't know. Then you tell me how many hours you stream a day.
I'd say on average per day about three-ish hours. So last time I checked, 3 hours. 3 hours is 1/8 of a day. And last time I checked, 1/8 of a day is not all day. So you're wrong there. So you're 0 for 1. Now, you're 0 for 1. We're gonna move past it. 0 for 1. We're moving past it. We're 0 for 1. We're gonna move past that. Now let's get to the next part. You said that I cannot get laid. Can you prove that?
You lost already.
Can you prove that point? So you're 0 for 1. Can you prove that I cannot get laid?
So.
Can you prove that I can't get laid? Come on, man. Go 1 for 2 here. Come on. 1 for 2. 50% is not bad.
So. By talking about.
I just want you to prove that I can't get laid. That was one of your claims. I want you to prove it.
Like, you talk about...
You going to prove it, or are you just going to sit here
obvious.
and just... Well, then prove it.
There's not a single
share with the class and prove it.
It's all these shared liberal...
I'm just asking you a basic question based on your claim.
These girls don't want to have sex with you. They have sex with themselves. They're all lesbians.
So do you have any proof?
I don't know you're gay.
Do you have any proof, or you're just going to sit here and ramble on?
It's okay.
So you have no proof. So you're 0 for 2. So you're 0 for 2. Now, can you prove that
Absolutely
I hate
not.
America?
You sit on here all day.
You're
can't
you're
get
0
laid,
for
you
2. We
don't
already
have a
established.
job,
Well, we already
you
established
hate-
you're wrong
you
about
hate
that one. We
America.
already established it's okay. You can try to talk over me. It's not going to work. We've already established you were wrong about being on TikTok all day. We've already established that you can't provide proof that I can't get laid. Can you prove that I hate America? Maybe 1 for 3, 33%. I'll take it.
Yeah, you hate our country. You hate our
Prove
leaders.
it.
We have
Prove
the
it.
best president we've had in
I
the
want you to
longest
prove that I
time.
hate the country.
Little
I want you to
bitch.
prove that I hate the country.
You are.
Prove it.
Dude, you're a little left liberal sheep. You're
I want you to prove-
anti-American.
I want you to prove that I hate
clown.
the country.
Like, you sit on TikTok crying to these emo
Well, we've already
losers,
established you're
these
wrong about
furries.
the TikTok part, so you're not correct there. But let's walk through this.
Absolutely not.
Maybe you
Absolutely
could
not.
be
You think
correct
about
on this
Trump
one.
24/7.
Maybe you could be correct on this one. Let's see. Do you think somebody who hates America would have served in the military?
That does not matter. That could be the reason why you hate America.
Okay, but it probably doesn't go to the point that I hate it. Probably, if anything, shows the opposite, right? Serving in the military. So there's that.
Sit here on TikTok
now,
talking to these little
let's go through
crying
another.
about
Let's
our
go through
president,
another
little
part.
bitch.
Do you think
You
somebody
do
who hates
nothing- you do
America?
nothing
Do you think
for the
somebody who
people,
hates
you do
America
nothing
would?
for the
You're not
country.
going to be able to talk over me. It's not going to happen.
Okay,
Do you think somebody
so-
who hates
so
America
what did
who
the-
hates? Do you think it's not going to? You're not
So
going to
what
be
did
able
the
to
Democrats
overtalk
do
me.
for America?
You're not going to be able to
So what did the
overtalk
Democrats
me.
do
You're
for
not going to be able to
I
overtalk
am,
me.
because
I'm
you're a
trying to
little
help
sheep.
you out, man. I want you to at least go 1 for 3. You're already 0 for 2. I want you to at least go 1 for 3. All right. Do you think somebody who hates America would advocate for the Constitution? And on the flip side of things, do you think people who claim they do love America but support somebody who violates the Constitution, do you think they really do love America? Or are you going to answer any of my questions? Are you going to answer any of my questions, or are you just going to have a dialogue with yourself?
I'm asking you questions.
Well, you're not really answering mine. Do you think somebody who claims they like America but they vote for someone who violates the Constitution, do you think they really do like America, or they just like that person? Nothing. Guys, we're looking for opposition. I can get to new guests at 25,000 likes. We just have to have somebody in the request box to get to at that point, assuming he doesn't drop, which it seems like he's trying to run and or drop and or something. If you're just joining live, and you're enjoying it, click the red follow button in the top left and then heart me. He left. I didn't kick him. So we'll get the next one, I suppose. Make sure you guys do sub to me on the tube, though, if you can. I'm currently streaming over there. If you are watching over there, hello. Make sure you guys sub to me. Make sure you engage in the comment section of it if you can. Let me move this little picture on over. It's a little cut off. All right, we got our next guest to go to. We got 3 to choose from. I will just choose a random one. I don't know any of them are. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, how old are you?
Hey, it's Anthony.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 54.
All right, what's on your mind?
Oh,
Ooh, you have an echo.
you have an echo.
Are we on Bluetooth?
Are you on Bluetooth? Yeah. Let me get you off.
Yeah, if you could do it, that'd be great. I'd appreciate you. Oh, look at that. We have a good amount of people watching on the tube, guys. We got 40-something concurrent viewers over there. Hello, tubers. All right, man, what's up?
Well, the topic at hand is what is it? That MAGA, you're all just a bunch of incels? Is that what it is?
Yeah, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Okay.
I'm from Puerto Rico, but yeah, I usually go back and forth and
Okay. How do you think he's doing so far?
well, I have a lot of investments in the stock market, so my portfolio is doing pretty good. And
Okay.
my job takes me to different states, so far.
Well, let's talk about the stock market. So are you saying because the stock market is doing well that Trump had something to do with it?
Well, usually the policies that get implemented when the president is up there, yeah, for sure.
Can you name me the last president in which we didn't hit an all-time high in the stock market? Within like the S&P?
That'd be a difficult one because I'm from Puerto Rico, so. But But yeah, I'm pretty sure as long as it's not a crash, I mean, we're doing really good so far.
Well, what the reason why I asked that is because as far back as I can remember, I don't think any time in the last several decades we have had a president in which we didn't hit an all-time high with an S&P 500.
Well, I'd have to look that up, but yeah, that's easy to find out. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, I can show you right now, real quickly, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. The reason why I'm saying that is, here we go. Okay, so see the chart right here? It'll pop up on screen in a second. As you can see, it's gone up pretty. I mean, there's been some dips, right? Some of it was during COVID, I think, one of them, and whatever. But anyways, the point is, we hit a high in the S&P 500 under Biden, under Trump's first term, under Obama second and first, Bush second and first, Clinton's. We've hit highs under every single. So, like, I don't think saying that the stock market is doing well is necessarily an indication of whether Trump had or didn't have anything to do with it, unless there's something that you can point to specifically.
well, it does take a hike. It does actually go a lot higher. I mean, in the amount of time he's been in office, my stocks have hit record highs in just in a year, and I know that's something that it does on other presidencies, but it's still going good.
Well, but like under like we hit near 45K under Biden for the Dow Jones, which was again an all-time high at the time. So I don't know. I'm just asking if there's like, because I just asked you how do you think Trump is doing, and you said your portfolio is doing well. I just don't see what that necessarily has to do with Trump specifically. That's my kind of reasoning here for point.
That's fine. I mean, but I do think that the policies that each president takes is either because it did tank when Biden was there for a bit, but then it started taking off. But
well, you're talking during COVID times, right?
Well, actually, no. After COVID, yeah.
Well, no, because I'm looking at the Dow Jones right now. There was a dip post COVID. Yeah, the Dow Jones. It went up to 36 in November 2021, which Biden would have been president, and it went down to 29 or so. Then it went all the way back up to like 45 before he left president. So yeah, there was a dip, but it still went up. But I did you give credit to Biden at that time when the stock market was doing well?
Well, not so much. But
well, that's interesting. But why do you give credit to Trump now, but not Biden at that time?
Because the inflation was an issue back then. It isn't now. So it kind of like goes hand in hand. If inflation, is not out of control, and then the stock market is doing good, then that means something's being done. And
did Biden cause that high inflation?
Well,
in your review,
the inflation is caused by the overprinting of money and yeah, of course, yes.
Sorry, okay. So I just want to be able and guys, keep tapping and sharing. We can get to a new guest at 30K. We are just looking for anybody that disagrees, Trump support, etc. At the request button. Okay, so you're saying printing more money causes inflation, and what spending a lot of money causes inflation?
It devaluates the dollar, and it's worthless if it just keeps sending all this money.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's say there's a lot of money printed under a certain president. Let's say today a lot of money is printed. How long do you think it takes for inflation to go up? Like not tomorrow. Like if let's say they print trillions of dollars today, inflation's not going to go up tomorrow, right? It's probably going to take 6 months, a year, maybe up to 2, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. I agree. So under Trump's last year, there was more money printed during the entirety of his administration, but most of it occurred during the last year, than during Biden's administration. We saw inflation go up the following year. Not only that, the debt went up by $8.2 trillion under Trump's first term. Well, it went up by about half that under Biden's. So by your own logic, there was more money printed and more money spent under Trump's administration the vast majority, which occurred during his last year, a lot of it had to do with COVID, so I'm not necessarily blaming him, but that tracks along with exactly what you said, with the timeline of it causing inflation.
Yeah, but thing is that all that overspending that was happening, that the money was being actually routed through to other countries, and then all the Doge that they found all these kind of, like, that was, you know how it went with the list of all all the money that was actually just spewing out of the country, and just like,
Well, we can get to that.
well,
All I'm saying is that regardless of whether you agreed with some of the spending or not, there was still a lot more money spent and printed under Trump's first administration. And
on
again,
his
the
first
vast majority
administration.
was during his last year, and we saw inflation go up within months of Biden becoming president. And you already agreed that it takes a good at least 6 months, if not closer to a year or two, for those things to take effect in the large scale of the economy.
Yeah, but not, it can correlate that was actually because of the administration's policies
Well, I
and
was just
and all
using
this
your
stuff.
argument. You said those things cause inflation, and now when I'm telling you when it happened, you now disagree.
Well,
So what else do you think caused inflation, if not the printing of money and the spending of money during 2020?
oh no,
And
flat
yes,
out that.
there was some that happened in 2021. I'm not going to deny that, but what else do you think caused inflation?
Oh, that's a flat out the main, the main contributor to inflation is that
Okay.
when the uh when the outrageous amount of money that gets
Well,
printed
okay. Then
and
how
just
was that
actually.
exclusively Biden's fault? Like, I understand the inflation occurred when he first became president, and it's easy to tie it to him because he was president, but through your own logic, your own words, you already said that it's because of the large amount of printing of money and spending. So how is that not at least in part due to Trump?
Well, I can actually say that also government spending and these programs that were absolutely supporting, like illegal immigrants in hotel rooms, and all the open borders, all the programs that were actually out there, that definitely also causes, a
Okay.
lot of
But
the
you
economy to.
we can get to the border stuff, but it seems like you don't want to acknowledge that Trump in some part had to do with inflation going up in 2021 and 2022.
Well, that was
Why is it you don't
well
want to acknowledge that?
because this is the new presidency, so I
No, no,
want
no,
to
no, no, no,
go.
no. We're talking about the money that was printed and spent during his last year. I mean, it happened during his entire administration, but of his first term, we're talking a lot which occurred in 2020. Why are you not blaming the inflation that occurred in 2021, 2022, at least in part due to his spending in 2020 and printing of money?
That's fine. I mean, it was a tough time with COVID when he
Right.
got up there. COVID was in full swing, so you can't really, like, the metrics are kind of off when you're in a pandemic, and
I
obviously
couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
yeah.
So then, do you think, given that you're saying that it's fair to put the entire blame on Biden, that gas and grocery prices went up, if we knew there was a huge thing that affected the economy, aka COVID?
Yeah, but that was literally over with. I would say, after 2020 lasted what, a couple years,
Right, and Biden
and
became president less than a year after COVID came into the U.S., of which there were still a lot of places shut down. And it's not like the
oh
moment
yeah,
places open back up, we see the economy get better. It takes time for things to open up, things to go back to what they were. So
yeah.
I just don't understand how Biden gets all of the blame and Trump gets none.
No, no, you can definitely get some of the blame, but the metrics then was with COVID. I mean, if you have a metric when everything is, like, back to normal, then we can go ahead and compare.
Sure,
But yeah, like
sure,
like
and
next
I,
term, next
I,
term there won't be COVID if a Democrat gets up there, and I can compare. And
You
hey,
can.
you can.
I agree, but then we can probably use maybe the last year under Biden, considering the economy was pretty much opened up for a while under that point. We already saw gas prices go back to the low threes, at that point, and it was going down quite a bit. We saw inflation back to where it should have been in the mid twos. And if you want to look back at an administration that had, as you would describe, progressive policies, look back at under Obama. We had low gas prices. The last couple of years under Obama, the average gas price was like the low mid twos. It was pretty cheap. Inflation was low as well. So I mean, if you want to point to an example of where policies do well, why don't you point to Obama or Biden's last year? You don't have to wait for another Democrat president to come in. You can look back.
The thing is that I'm trying to look forward. You understand? Like when I read my stocks, I do historical data, obviously, but I can't rely on just that. I have to see, like, if I'm going to vote for somebody in the future, I have to see what they are doing now, and if they're doing things, that benefit the country now. So right now, I think the country's getting, it's getting back on track if everything just goes as planned, like all his bringing back, trying to bring back all these companies and investments are
What
going
companies?
pretty good with it.
What
Well,
companies?
I know for a fact that the chip companies are investing in infrastructure here to actually make chips here.
Where do you think that was
And
from? The chip companies, so to speak. What do you think that's from?
well, they're out of outside the country, but
Well,
but
but we can tie that directly to the Chips and Science Act that was passed under Biden's administration, which Trump is, of course, now taking credit for. It's weird. Anytime something good happens under his administration, he takes credit for it. If it's bad, it's because of Biden. That's
well, they all
like
do
the
that. You
hallmark
gotta agree.
of somebody who cannot take personal responsibility.
Well, you gotta agree. They pretty much all do that. It's not just one party. It's
I agree. Politicians can. I think he takes it to the nth degree. I think every other president was a bit more reasonable with it, and they didn't outwardly blame the other party for all of their problems and all of your problems. But having said that, the chip stuff that you're mentioning still had to do with Biden, at least what happened under his administration. And you mentioned infrastructure. There was also the largest infrastructure bill that was passed since Eisenhower that was passed under him. And that would have been, 70-ish years ago? So the largest infrastructure bill in 70 years. So I'd like to say, I'd like to think those are good things. And assuming you're a fan of veterans, they got more access to health care with the PACT Act that were exposed to toxic burn pits overseas. I'd like to think those are three decent things that at least occurred under Biden.
Yeah, no, I don't deny that. Some things, obviously have to go. Have to, at least something has to go right. Just can't be all bad. But under Biden, there was a lot of things, there were a lot of policies that were actually being implemented that hurt the economy, hurt the country.
What would be an example of that? And guys, we are looking for opposition. If you voted for Trump, hit the request button. Pay links are in the bio if you want to show support, but it's not needed. I also have the gift code there at the bottom. Same deal. Make sure you guys sub to me on the tube. Link is in the bio. What things were passed under Biden or that occurred under Biden were harmful?
Well, some things that were passed and some things that were not passed, like obviously the open borders, that hurt the country and immensely. We're still feeling it today.
What policy opened up the border? So was the border closed during Trump's first administration, his first term?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Wait, it wasn't. So it was open.
Of course, it wasn't closed. You have to go through the due process. You understand? You have to go through the actual process of actually coming.
Well, due process wouldn't be the right term for that, but I get what you're saying. But okay, so during Trump's first term, was it closed, opened, or what was it?
No, it wasn't closed. There was nothing closed. You can come in, and if you actually went through all the paperwork and submitted everything, and so you actually got in. But,
okay, and then Biden came in 2021, January 2021, and he opened it.
Well, when you actually eliminate, like resources like Border Patrol, and you actually have all these people looking the other way when they're actually coming in, because nobody stopped all these illegals from coming in, and it was It was obviously because they were coming in droves. You've
Okay.
seen the videos. I mean,
Well,
that's
hold
not
on.
it.
But videos don't determine whether the border is open or closed. I can show you videos of anything. Those are just anecdotes. I can show you videos of people
Well,
coming
I have
in right
live
now under
feeds.
Trump.
I
But
I have
videos
live
aren't
feeds for
data.
the border.
Videos are just
I have
anecdotes.
live feeds for the border.
What I'm
That
trying to
that
say
that.
is that number one, you made the claim that he had less border patrol agents there. You have any evidence of that?
Of course, if there was enough border patrol and there was enough, obviously, agents or whatever, National Guard, of course that the droves and millions of unvetted, illegals would not be coming in, just
But
like now.
but hold on though. But you're sort of begging the question by saying that. I disagree that the border was open. Your evidence that the border is open is that there were less border patrol agents, and I'm just asking you to
Well,
prove
how
that because
many
there was
how many
nothing
millions
that he did to
of people?
lower or increase them. But if anything, if anything, if we're talking about the removal rate, there was actually a higher removal rate under Biden than Trump's first term. Under Trump's, and this is according to the Department of Homeland Security. I'm not making this number up. You can check. It was a 47% removal rate under Trump's first term for removals of
We're
immigrants,
talking about this.
and then there was a 51% removal rate under Biden. So if anything, he would have been stricter on the border by a percentage of it,
Oh no,
by the percentages.
I have to disagree.
Well, you can't disagree with numbers.
Of course, the numbers speak for themselves about how many border
Right, and
crossings
I'm
there
giving
were.
you the numbers. There was a 51% removal rate. This is according to the Department of Homeland Security under Biden than there was under Trump's first term. I'm giving you numbers.
No, I'm talking about this term. Let's not.
I
I'm talking about
I,
this term where
I understand
the,
that, but we
the
can't.
border
I'm just
closed.
comparing it to a full term of each, right? And also, if you're talking about more border patrol agents, there was a border bill that was proposed that was bipartisan, actually, that would have called for more border patrol agents, more border wall technology, more judges, more asylum judges, a more efficient and quicker process for asylum seekers. That way, they wouldn't be hanging out in the U.S. for a long period of time. And it was shot down. Trump told Republicans to not follow through with it because he wanted something to run on. So it seems like there were things that were put forward, but if Republicans didn't want it, or at least because Trump said so, then who are we going to blame here? Maybe the guy that told them not to vote for it.
Well, he's not the president, so.
But then why did they
Well,
listen to him? Thank you,
well,
Red. But you
well,
want to put the blame on Biden, even though there was numerous border bills proposed during his administration. In fact, on day one, there was a border bill proposed. There was about 4, I think maybe 5 bills that were proposed during his entire administration. If Republicans don't vote for it, but then you blame Biden, like, do you see how that works? Like, it's almost like Trump and Republicans wanted things to go bad so they can then win the election, which goes to show they don't actually care about the border. They just want to be in power.
well, I just know that if a president wants to actually close the border, he can go ahead and do it regardless of.
Well, no,
Of
the president doesn't have authority to just shut down the border by saying so. Now, in that border bill, funny enough, they would have had the authority to do so if there surpassed 5,000 counters on an average daily basis, which it did surpass numerous times. He would have had the ability to close it, but again, Trump didn't want them to follow through with it. So
but
this all
Trump
keeps
is not
going back to
president.
Trump.
If I see the amount of illegals coming in, and I don't activate the National Guard, I don't do something to just halt it, screech it, then it's obviously on on the
Activate the
president
National Guard for what?
to actually stop the thousands of illegal aliens that were actually coming in on a daily basis.
Can you show me legally where they would be allowed to do that?
Well, they can defend the border by not letting.
No, but point to me
obviously they
legally
can
where
stop.
they would be allowed to do that.
What do you mean, stop an illegal alien from crossing the border? It's very simple.
Well, no, you can't just put the National Guard there at the border. That's not their duty. That's not what they're for. Now, if you want the president to break the law and just act like a dictator, well, then you have one right now. But if you want a president to follow the law, there's certain things they can and cannot do. And it seems like you want the president to break the law to do something you like.
The border crossings hit a crisis level, so
That's very subjective. But there was bills once again that were proposed. It's weird that you're blaming Biden, but you're not blaming the Republicans that didn't vote for the very thing that would have helped the border. But you're not blaming them, and you're not blaming Trump. That seems weird to me.
No, it doesn't seem.
So why don't you blame? Wait, hold on. So if a border bill is proposed that has all of the things that you want, and that would make it harder for them to cross, and Republicans don't vote for it, who gets to blame there?
The current administration.
Wait. Again, the ones that didn't vote for it, why didn't they vote for it?
Because that's how it is.
What do you mean how it is? Why didn't they vote for it? If it would have helped the border, why didn't they vote for it?
Because that's how Democrats have been doing things all along.
I'm not asking about Democrats. I'm asking you about the Republicans that didn't vote for it. I just want you to criticize them. I'm just asking you to criticize your own party. It shouldn't be that difficult.
I don't.
I know you're not allowed to. I know when you're a Trump supporter, you're not allowed to because you get kicked out of the club. I know you're not allowed to criticize them.
No, nobody can tell me who I can.
Well, you haven't. You're struggling to do so when the blame is obviously on the people that didn't vote for it when it would have helped the very issue that you care about.
Well, how many Democrats would actually vote for things that the actual
you're not but you're trying to pivot away. You're so scared to just criticize Trump and Republicans. Why are you so scared to do that? You are, because you're avoiding it like the plague. You are avoiding it like the plague.
No, it happens on both sides.
That's not what we're talking about. We're not going to both sides this thing. I'm asking you about that, but we can. If there's another thing that Democrats didn't vote for that could have been good, we can blame them at that point of the conversation. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about this and Republicans not voting on a border bill that would have helped. Why can't you criticize them?
Unfortunately, if they don't get a bipartisan bill going, then and it doesn't get approved, it's still on the current administration.
But why can't you criticize Republicans for not voting, and specifically Trump for telling them not to vote for the very thing that would have helped? What reason? Give me the reason why they didn't vote for it.
Hey, it's just politics.
That's not an answer. Give me the reason why they didn't vote for it. Please give me an honest answer.
Nobody votes on the Republican side for things that the Dems put into play.
Okay, so you're blaming them for being petty and not voting for a good thing because they didn't want Democrats to look good.
Petty.
Great, so I'm glad you can blame Republicans. Okay, great. So in some part, it's Republicans' faults for not voting for a good thing.
Of course, yes.
Okay, I just wanted you to be able to admit that. I don't know why it was such a challenge.
No, it's not a challenge. I've been saying that.
Well, you weren't. It was very, very difficult for you to say so.
On both parties, that happens on both parties.
Okay, all right. So given, but I do want to state though, given all of that though, there were still more deportations in 2024 than there was in 2025. There were 680,000. There were 680,000 deportations in 2024 under Biden's last year. There was about 608 to 610,000 last year under Trump. So with all that being said, there was still less deported.
The counter is still ticking, so it's gonna be a lot more.
We're not talking about this year. We can talk about this year when it's over with. But given that there was less, and your whole thing is about having more, maybe 2024 was more successful than 2025.
Nope, you gotta take it by what the term did.
But we're not through the term. We're not through the term. But can you at least agree that 2024, by your viewpoint, is more subjective or is more successful than 2025? Because you like more deportations. That's a good thing. There was more in 2024.
I'd have to research that. If you can pull up the research there, I can go
This
ahead
is basic.
and agree
This
with
is on the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol site. You can find this in like 2 seconds.
Well, you can say that, but I don't see it. And I don't know if I can
But
look
why
it up
don't
while
you
I'm
do
on
this
the
research
podcast.
though? But why don't you look into these things? Because it takes all of 60 seconds to pull it up.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually try and look it up, it'll be disconnected on your end.
No. In general, why don't you look that up? Like, why is it that you don't know this information now?
Oh, because remember, I'm from Puerto Rico, so there's a lot.
What does being
lot
Puerto
different-
Rican have to do with not looking up information?
Well, if I'm Puerto Rico, the policies that are
But you have the internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you look things up?
Because I have other things to other fish to
Okay, so
fry here.
I guess the border and immigration is not that important to you.
Well, obviously it is if it pertains
Not enough to look it up.
But it's as easy as looking it up. I see what you put up there. What exactly?
So total
is that?
deportations in 2024 or 2025 are projected at approximately 600, which is lower than 685 in the fiscal year of 2024. And they got this from the Border Patrol site, by the way, right? So if you're going to say this is AI, this is literally from the Border Patrol site where they got the numbers from. And I can pull that up too if you want that specific source. But these things take 2 seconds to look up. So I'm just saying, by your worldview is that more deportations are better. 2024 must have been more successful than 2025.
Well, it's still an ongoing.
We can talk about sure. If there ends up being more this year, then we can say that.
There wasn't a lot of pushback when Biden was in, but right now there's a lot of pushback with all the protesters and all the lawlessness that's going on.
I mean the lawlessness of unaliving 2 people, unjustifiably so. Like the lawlessness of murdering Renee Good, the lawlessness of murdering Alex Preddy.
If you think that running an actual agent over with your truck and getting shot,
can you show me where he was ran over? Where was he ran over? Can you show me where he was ran over?
I saw the video. He literally was hit.
I think you're trying. You're not going to gaslight me, and you're not going to gaslight the chat. Nobody was ran over, dude. If he was ran over, he would have been on the ground, ran over.
Okay.
He wasn't ran over.
Did she hit him with the car?
Okay, so if I bump you with my car, you can shoot me in the face.
It's literally attempted murder.
If I bump you with my car, can you shoot me in the face?
Of course,
really.
Weapon. A vehicle is a 2,000-pound plus actual weapon against a what? 200 pounds.
Can you?
Where's the logic in that?
I want you to point. I want you to point to me. I want you to point to me the laws that they need to abide by that shows that that's a reason to use deadly force.
Oh, any officer that you try and run over, any police or any type.
Well, hold on though. She was trying to run him over. Why did she turn the? Hold on. If she was trying to run him over, why did she turn her wheel in the opposite direction of him? Instead, if she was trying to run him over, she would have just kept going and not turned the wheel in the opposite direction. That makes no goddamn sense.
I'm sorry, but she was a horrible person.
But hold on, I don't think you believe that. I think those are Trump's views, and you don't know how to think for yourself. I think you're just repeating Trump's views.
I know. Her girlfriend used to put out cigarettes. I seen the news.
You can unalive somebody for putting out cigarettes. You can unalive somebody for putting out cigarettes.
If you do that to my child, I will kill you. Yes.
Okay, absolutely. But then you will go to prison. Then you will go to prison for murdering someone.
And I will go with a smile because that person is
great.
Dead.
Then you're a shitty parent. Then you're a shitty parent because now your kid doesn't have a dad for the rest of their life, all because you can't control your fucking emotions.
Yeah, and you're not.
So you're a shitty fucking dad. So you're a shitty fucking dad for one.
Because
you can't control your goddamn emotions.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the policy. I'm gonna show you the policy from the U.S. Department of Justice about use of deadly force. And nowhere was this applicable at all. Okay, so this is use of deadly force and prohibited restraint techniques. Okay, number 1, deadly force may not be solely used to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. 1, right? 2, firearms may not be discharged solely to disable moving vehicles. Specifically, firearms may not be discharged at a moving vehicle unless a person in the vehicle is threatening the officer or another person with deadly force by means other than the vehicle. Other than the vehicle. You're speaking too soon, buddy. You're speaking too soon, buddy. Your emotions are getting the best of you. Once again. So I'm going to read that again since you couldn't fucking wait. Specifically, firearms may not be discharged in a moving vehicle unless a person in the vehicle is threatening the officer or another person with deadly force by means other than the vehicle. I know it's difficult to read. Or 2, the vehicle is operated in a manner that threatens to cause death or serious physical injury to the officer or others, and no other objectively reasonable means of defense appears to exist, which includes moving out of the path of the vehicle, which we saw him move out of the path of the vehicle, therefore there was no justified use of deadly force. I'm sorry, even if I grant you that he got love tapped by the vehicle, that doesn't fall within the parameters of what I just read. So, I don't know why all of a sudden you're getting so emotional. We've been having a conversation for like 20 minutes now, and now you get emotional over this? That's interesting. You can unmute, man? I don't know if you're... Yes, I said love tapped, and I was being very generous by saying love tapped. Worst case scenario, love tapped.
The video. That wasn't a love tap.
Great, great. Did you hear what I just read from the DOJ? The use of deadly force? Great. So he got out of the path of the vehicle, right? Because if he didn't, he would have been ran over. Was he physically ran over? Was his body ran over? Did he fall to the ground and be ran over by the...
hit him with the vehicle.
That's not answering my question. God. That's not answering my question. Was he physically ran over by the wheels of the vehicle?
Do you know how...
Was he physically ran over by the wheels of the vehicle?
Hits an object,
this is a basic answer. Hey, it's a basic answer. We all saw the video. I'm just asking you to give the obvious answer.
Why are you getting upset? Why can't we have a conversation?
Was he ran over by the wheels of the vehicle?
Of course, he was hit with the vehicle.
Was he ran over by the wheels of the vehicle? Yes or no?
When you get hit,
what? Just answer me yes or no, bro. Was he ran over by the wheels of the vehicle?
Of course not. But he was hit with the vehicle.
Great. So considering he got out of the path of the vehicle, there was no justified use of deadly force. And if her intent was to run him over, right, she was aligned this way towards him, right? She turned this way, okay? If she wanted to run him over, why did she turn in the opposite direction before she moved forward? If she wanted to run him over, she would have just kept in this direction, right? Right?
She shouldn't have been blocking.
That's not answering my question. If she wanted to run him over, she would have stayed in this direction, right? And not turned this way. Right? Right?
Hit him.
Right? That's not answering my question. If her intentions were to run him over, she would have stayed facing him, right? And gone straight. Right?
Her intentions weren't to dodge him because she could have.
If her intentions to run him over, just answer the question. There's a reason why you're too afraid to answer this. She would have stayed in this path, right, and not turned this way.
No, she hit him.
Okay, even if I grant you that the vehicle in some way hit him, we're talking about the intentions of her, right? If she intended on running him over, she wouldn't have turned the wheel in the opposite direction, right? She would have just gone straight over him. That makes sense. That should be an obvious answer.
Yeah, there's something called fuck around and find out.
Okay, so now you're pivoting towards FAFO, which is not within DOJ policy. I'm sorry, that's not in DOJ policy. Fuck around and find out.
I'm sorry, but the policy.
Okay, but now you're justifying a citizen being murdered because they did something you don't like, right? This is why you and every other Trump supporter is a cuck. You guys are cucks. You guys cannot think for yourself. Every one of your thoughts are manufactured. Every one of your thoughts are manufactured by the president because you don't know how to think for yourself. You literally have to wait for him to tell you what to think, right? That incident happens. You guys are like, oh no, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. And then he says something like, oh, okay, I'm going to follow and just say that. Because you can't fucking think for yourself. You guys are grown adults who have to let an 80-year-old man think for you. It's pathetic and it's ridiculous. Anybody with working eyes would have came to the conclusion that she wasn't trying to unalive him. And again, even if I grant you at very worst case scenario that he was bumped by her, that still doesn't justify an unaliving specifically to the face and then multiple pew-pews there on out. Right? And there's no way you're going to be able to justify Alex Preddy's unaliving. Although I'm sure you're going to try. In fact, I would like to hear you try. Go ahead and try to justify Alex Preddy being unalived.
Alex Preddy's Puerto Rican, so I have an opinion on that too.
What does him being Puerto Rican have to do with anything?
Yeah, that we know what happened because obviously.
What does him being Puerto Rican have to do with anything? And I don't even know if he was, but even if he was, what does that have to do with anything?
It means that he's been on the news here locally. That's what it means. And
But
that
does
we've
that have
heard about
anything to
it.
do with whether his unaliving was just or not?
Of course,
No, no,
it
his
has
not.
everything to do with it.
Where
Because
somebody is from.
we don't really hear about the things that happen unless if somebody is actually Puerto Rican, and then we hear about it and then we form an opinion.
Your
But I
birthplace
see.
doesn't determine the law of whether it's justified to unalive you or not. Okay.
That's
So
totally
what did he? Are you saying his unaliving was justified?
well. He was getting arrested,
Are
and the
you
struggle.
saying his unaliving was justified?
That was an accident. I believe that was an accident.
Wait, what was an accident?
Him getting shot in a struggle.
Wait. So hold on. This. That's an accident.
Well,
That's an accident.
well, what,
10
what,
hold
if
on,
you
10 or 11 pew pews being fired off at a guy's back and his head is an accident.
Yeah, he's an armed.
Get the fuck out of
he's an
here,
armed-
dude. Get
he's
the
an
fuck
armed-
out of
He's
here.
an armed person. He's an armed person. So if you don't want to actually
What-
get shot, don't
What-
mess
what-
with people.
Okay, but now you're starting to
They're not doing
justify
the
it again. Or now you're starting to justify it again. Wait. So you're saying
No,
if
I
he
want
doesn't
people
want to
shooting
be
me.
unalived, he
I
shouldn't
want
have
people
held.
shooting me. Why? Why are people not shooting me?
Are
'Cause I
you
don't
saying
fuck
because? Are you
around.
saying because he carried that justified him being unalived?
Well, if you're in a violent
So are you
demonstrator,
anti-Second Amendment?
you're a violent demonstrator, which he was. Because I saw
Where was he
videos of him
violent?
kicking
Where
the
was he
shit
violent? He
out
was
of,
helping an
out
old.
of
He was
one of the
helping a lady
vehicles.
off the ground. If anything,
Yeah,
that's the
I
opposite
saw
of being
him on
violent.
a previous video. On a previous video, kicking the shit out
Bro,
of a
that's an
vehicle.
AI video. You fell for that?
Yeah, sure. Now that's an
Hold
AI
on, hold on,
video.
hold on. So you're telling me a week earlier, first of all, even if that video were true, that has nothing to do with him being unalived a week later. That was an AI video. It's absolutely pathetic how easily you guys fall for things. You're telling me a week earlier he wore the same exact clothes. You
Yeah,
fell
well,
for
that's
that. You fell for that.
That obviously hasn't been debunked. So I can't.
So
say it
everything's
wasn't.
true. Wait, so everything's true until proven otherwise? It should be the
Of
opposite.
course.
It should be that everything, you should be skeptical of every video you watch until proven to be verified. That's a horrible way of going about things. And even if he did, hold on, even if he did kick a vehicle that has nothing to do with the week later of him being unalived with no justification whatsoever. You're making no sense, man.
Again, he's a violent protester. And
Give me an example during a situation that occurred of where he was violent towards ICE, in which it justified him being unalived. Give me a specific example of where it happened.
Why don't you pull up the video?
I'm asking you to tell me where he was violent towards the officer. Can you tell me where he was violent towards them?
So pull up the video. You see.
I'm asking you right now before I do so.
Okay.
Where was the violence on that day that he was unalived?
He was obviously protesting and impeding the
So protesting is violent?
No, but impeding the actual duties of federal agents is. Yeah.
That's violent.
You can protest. Peacefully without actually impeding or.
Can you tell me how he was impeding? Tell me how he was impeding upon them by helping a lady off the ground.
Yeah, you make it sound like that's the only thing he was doing.
So tell me what else that he did.
He was there to actually impede the actual agents from doing their job.
So prove it.
What do you mean prove it? That's all they do.
I want you to prove it. I want you to prove it.
Why do I have to prove it?
Because you're making the fucking claim, you dumbass.
You don't make your own determination.
You're making the claim. Prove it.
I don't have to prove anything.
You're making the claim. What happened to innocent? Hold on. So you're telling me that he was just guilty off the bat? Isn't there a thing called innocent until proven guilty? So give me evidence where he was guilty of actions that allowed for him to be unalived.
If you're obstructing a federal agent,
tell me where he was obstructing. I want you to tell me where he was obstructing. I want you to tell me where he was obstructing. Hey, where was he obstructing? And that calls for somebody to be unalived. So if I obstruct, I can be killed in the streets. That's the country. That's the country you want to live in. If you obstruct an officer's doing something that you should be killed in the streets, this is the country you want to be in.
Were there any problems in Washington?
You're not answering my question. Is that the country you want to live in?
Were there any problems?
Is that the country you want to live in? Yes or no?
If you protest and you actually protest, not a problem. But if you start impeding law enforcement,
and that call, okay, so you want to live in a country where that allows for somebody to be murdered in the streets if you impede upon an investigation. And he didn't even do that. But let's say that did happen. You want to live in that country?
If you break the law, there's
answer the fucking question, you complete fucking coward. Answer the question.
Why are you going?
Stop being a pussy ass coward. Answer the fucking question. Do you want to live in a country where somebody who impedes upon investigation gets murdered in the streets? And I know, guys, he wasn't impeding. I'm granting the worst case scenario, even though that wasn't true, just to see where his logic is at.
He was there. He was there for
answer the fucking question. Do you want to live in a country? Do you want to live in a country where someone is killed in the streets for impeding an investigation?
Consequences, buddy.
Do you want to live in that country? Yes or no?
I didn't see that in Washington.
Do you want to live in that country? Yes or no?
I want to live in a country
yes
where
or no.
Where everybody just lets
be the law a fucking adult and answer a question. You're like Pam Bondi yesterday. You cannot answer a basic fucking question because you're too fucking cowardly to do so. You're a weak, cowardly incel man. What's up, Jeff? I can't take this anymore. You can talk to him.
I got you. What up, this?
You can talk to Jeff over here, man.
I answered the question. I don't want to live in a country.
God knows
exactly what's going on.
I said that. Look, you answered the question. What world do you not want to live in? That's a different question. But I have an easier question. Are we a country of laws?
Absolutely.
Great. Which law gives ICE the right to pew people in the street for impeding an investigation?
But was he not? Was he not in an actual altercation with ICE agents where there was a struggle? Was that not the case?
I'm going to ask my question again. Which law gives the ICE agent or the right to pew somebody in the middle of the street?
Oh, he's an armed, violent person.
I'm gonna ask my question a third time. You think you're answering my question. What you're saying is like you're coping. You're doing this thing that people say. Like there's this episode of The Fresh Prince where Carlton goes, I would have pulled us over. Like that's what you're doing. I'm asking the question, which law gives ICE the right to pew people in the middle of the street?
Hey,
remember, no, not hey.
They feel that they're threatened.
Wait. That's you. Now we're talking about feelings, right? Facts don't care about your feelings. At the very first question I asked you, and you and I agreed, is that we're a nation of laws. So now I want to know which law gives ICE the right to pew people in the street. We either have a law or we don't. If we're not a nation of laws, that works for me because I'm worse than Doug. Like, I don't care about none of this. I think if we, you don't even want to know what I think we should do, right? But you think we're a nation of laws. And so now I'm saying, which law is it that we're following?
I don't think there's not a law that actually gives you the right to, for just.
Is there any law that guides ICE agents on when they should pew people? When they're allowed to? Okay.
He was actually reading some of them actually.
Yeah, so which law gives them the right to pew somebody in that scenario?
In defense, yeah.
That's just a word. I want to know which law.
Well,
we're not moving past this point, and I don't have a ton of time. I do got to go do another thing, so don't bore me. The answers are either the law or I don't know.
So you're thinking that he was in the right place at the right time doing the right thing?
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that what you just said was not a law. So I want to know, what is the law?
Hey, I'm not law enforcement, but would they do what they have to do to actually?
Yes, I get it. So you don't care about the law? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, I believe that they.
Look, of the conversations that I have with Doug, where I'm trying to radicalize Doug, you want me to win, right? You want Doug to go, you're right, Jeff. They don't care about the law. We shouldn't care about the law either. give me my M16. That's what you want? Because right now, Doug is being very reasonable. He's saying, let's talk about the law. I'm the crazy one on the other side going, hey, Doug, they don't care about the law. Let's do some other stuff. Is that what you want?
No, but
You
the
want
thing
me to
is,
win?
the
Okay,
thing is
so
that nobody
no,
obeys
I'll take
the
the no.
law.
I'm
Listen,
heading in that
listen,
direction
listen,
very quickly, though, Jeff. I will say
listen,
that.
listen. I'm just going to ask you one final time, and your answer to this, whatever the answer is, whether it's an answer or a non-answer, is also going to tell the 365 people here what we're dealing with. What law gives ICE the right to shoot people like dogs in the street?
What happened? He was just defenseless, like right there with his hands up, and he got shot. Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
Do you see, Doug? Do you see the answer to the question?
I see a
He was a
non-answer,
defenseless
a
man.
non-answer
He
answer.
was a
Like
defenseless.
you could have said 18 USC 111 talks about impeding, but it doesn't give anybody the right to pew anybody. You could have said 1.16-200 talks about use of force, specifically deadly force, and it doesn't give them the right in that scenario to shoot anybody. But you don't care about that. You don't care about that at all, do you? This.
I actually
What do
read
you
that to
mean?
him. I don't know how long you've been in
If
live, Jeff. I read that to him about 10
if
minutes
you're
ago.
impeding law enforcement, you're impeding law enforcement. You're
Hold on.
actually
I'm just
getting
gonna say
arrested.
my thing again. All right, you
Getting
coward.
arrested.
Listen, you coward. I'm gonna say my thing again. 18 USC 111
What do you
talks
have
about
to go to insults?
look.
What do you have to go to insults?
Because you're a coward. No, it's not an insult. It's an observation.
Oh, it's not.
If you want to
It's not
stop being called a coward, stop being a coward.
That's fine.
Right?
That's
If I said
exactly
you
what
have
I
an
said.
orange PFP, that's just an observation. So here's the thing.
Well, you're a
You
piece of shit.
agreed.
So I don't give a fuck
Listen,
what
coward.
you want
Marshmallow
to
brain
say,
coward.
whatever. You're
Listen,
just
marshmallow
blabbing.
brain.
He
Listen,
deserved
marshmallow
what he
brain.
got. He
That's
was
good.
impeding.
That's great. That's
He
good.
was
See, now we're
impeding.
coping. Now we're
So
coping.
he
I'm going to tell you
deserved what he
something.
got. The
Now
other
I have
one deserved what he
this is the
got.
final question. This is the final question before we bid each other adieu. This is a question I've been asking a lot of your types. When you're facing the wall, right? Do you think you're going to twirl to the left or to the right when the thing hits you? Or you're just going to drop? Do you think your left leg is going to twitch, your right leg? Which one is it going to be?
What do you?
He has no idea what you just said.
When you're facing the wall,
You're
right?
facing the wall.
When you're facing the wall and people are saying ready, aim, fire, but they go on aim, right? So you think they're going to go on fire, but they really go on aim. I'm hipping you to game right now. Do you think you're going to twirl to the left, twirl to the right, or just crumple down?
Maybe a little bit of both. A little
spot?
shimmy. Might do a little shimmy.
Yeah. Which is going to happen? Which do you think is going to happen?
That's not a scenario I see myself in. So it's
It's going to happen. Look, it's going to you know how I know it's going to happen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it always happens. If you pick up a history book, every time we get here, eventually the guillotines come out. So my question is, when you're facing that wall, do you think you're going to twirl to the left or the right? Because remember, if you don't care about the law, there's plenty more of us than there are of you. So if you don't care about the law, the minute that I convince the rest of us that you don't care about the law, they won't care about the law either, because they're hungry and they're not getting food. And now people are in the streets pew-pewing them for getting food. So final time, when you're facing that wall, which way do you think you're going to twirl when the thing hits you?
I didn't see any problems in Washington, D.C. Why is there
He
problems?
can't answer it.
Oh, okay, cool. I think what's just going to happen is you're going to fall forward and we're going to make strange paint on that wall. We're going to make like Picasso's and Jackson Pollocks and all of that. And by that point, the dollar ain't going to be worth a damn. So it's just going to be whoever has like a carving implement is just going to pull the piece off the wall and put it up on their in their house and be like, this is from the time that the goofy "This is Eden 2" twirled counterclockwise 3 times and his left leg twitched, and then we just took whatever sprayed onto the wall and put it on in my living room while I'm watching old episodes of Animaniacs.
The country voted for
I love
this,
that show. It's
and
such a
you
good
are
show.
absolutely just crying and whining about what's going on now. It's
No,
just
that's what you're doing.
So
No, that's what you're doing.
Crying and whining, Trump will be in power, and then JD Vance, and you guys can just keep babbling about all.
Now you're coping. Now you're
Because
coping.
obviously,
No, it's cool
if you think that the law and you
that the
know
law
living in a
matters. No,
place
I
is
don't.
Yeah,
But
lawful,
you don't
obviously it's
either.
not
That's
don't
matter,
break the
okay.
clearly.
law.
I
Don't
just
break
want
the
you to
law.
look. You don't care about the law, but I just want you to
Of
know
course
is
I
that
care about the law. Don't break it, and you'll be
wait,
okay. Look how
which
simple that
So
formula is.
now
hey
we're back to square one.
hey Marshmallow Brain, I gave you 25 opportunities to tell me which law you're
Yeah,
talking about,
well, shit
and
for
you
brains.
answered 0
Shit for
times.
brains.
So you
Don't break
don't
the
care about the
law,
law.
and you'll be okay.
You don't
You
look.
know,
You don't care about the law. When you say the law, you're just saying 7
that's
characters
your
that don't mean
opinion.
anything.
That's your opinion. I
Okay,
know
so then tell us
I'm
which
not
law.
breaking the law. I'm not going
So
out to no stupid
so tell
protest
me. So
and
tell me.
actually impeding
So
law
tell me which
enforcement.
law.
Hey, break the law. Fuck around and
Which
find
law?
out. Fuck around and find out. That's how easy it is.
Which
That's
law,
not a law.
Eden?
That's not a law, buddy.
Are people shooting at you? Are you
Which
people shooting
law?
at your
They
boys
they
yet?
know better. Which law,
Nobody's shooting
Eden?
at you, right? So what
Which
happens?
listen, Eden? Which law?
Hey, you
This
mess
is so
around with
embarrassing for you.
you
So
mess around
embarrassing for you.
you
You
mess
should be
around with law
embarrassed.
enforcement and you get a shot, you will get
You,
shot.
you
That's
look.
how easy
You
it is.
should be. You should be embarrassed.
I'm not.
1,000% embarrassed.
I'm not the one that's actually
You
breaking the
can't
law.
even name the law.
So what law did he break?
No.
Tell us what law he broke. We're almost there. What law did he break?
He was impeding a federal officer in
You don't
his
even know
duty.
what that means.
That's called obstruction.
You don't even know what that means. You
That's
wouldn't even know
called
how to analyze that.
obstruction. You
Look,
need me to
look,
spell it
hold
for you,
on.
moron?
Hey,
Obstruction.
Marshmallow Brain. 18 USC
Obstruction.
111 just says impeding. Which court case would you look at to define what is considered
Now here we
impeding?
go. You guys are gonna go and court case. You know I don't have that information.
Of course not, because you're an idiot. That's
No, you're an
the whole
idiot.
point.
You're an idiot when
Yes,
you
you're
deviate
right. The
and you
person who
deviate
knows the
from the
law.
actual conversation.
That's
You
good.
fuck
That's
around and
good.
find out.
Hey,
You
Eden,
break
the
the
person
law.
who knows the law is the
Did he
idiot,
break the
and the
law?
person
Yes
who
or
knows
no?
nothing but is just saying the same thing over and over again. That's not
Did
the idiot.
did
Look,
did,
when you
did
say
Christian
fuck
break
around and
the
find out, you know what the find out is? It's facing the wall. I told you that already. That's
no
what you're gonna do. But I don't
no
need to talk to you
it's
anymore.
me
Doug,
never
thanks for
getting
having me up.
shot.
Yeah,
I just
man.
wanted to
Me,
give you that example. I know, like, you got frustrated, but I tried to make it as simple as possible.
I'm
If he
not
wants to tell me
frustrated
which
at
Still
law,
wasn't
all.
working.
I
no, I'm talking
think
about Doug got frustrated. You don't have the ability to
I
get
did get
frustrated,
frustrated.
and you're
I
too much
did.
of an idiot. But
Washington D.C. You idiot. There was no problem there.
yeah, 2 of
The
y'all boys
protest
in
here.
DC already FAFO'd. I just want you to
Yep.
know that.
Yep.
And there are more that they haven't even listed. I'm telling you that for sure. There are more that have had that happen that they haven't even talked to you about because they don't want to panic when like if it comes out that some of them are getting lured places and not going home. Just letting you know that. But in any case, thanks for having me up, Doug.
Absolutely,
I'll
Jeff.
chat with y'all
All right.
later.
Take care, man.
Peace.
Make sure you guys give Jeff a follow, okay? All right, guest. Go F off. Well, that was fun. If you guys are enjoying the live, click the red follow button in the top left, I believe it is. Make sure you guys all send in the heart me. And for those on the tube asking how to join, the only way currently right now is to do it via TikTok, okay? So if you want, just go onto the TikTok app and watch me on my live from there. You can join from there. I do have a Google number as far as the tube goes. I just have to set it up so you on the tube can join. So I promise I'll get that set up here shortly-ish. In the meantime, obviously, you guys can just watch. And speaking of the tube, make sure you guys do sub to me over there. It is Dougielifts, Dougielifts. The link is also in my bio. Okay, we're looking for opposition, guys. So if you disagree with the background prompt, you voted for Trump, you're a conservative, Republican, etc., hit the request button. Hey, Brent, what's up?
What's up, Doug? How you doing?
Good. Kelsey, it's in the link in the bio. How old are you, man?
I'm 45. I'm from Oklahoma. I voted Trump.
All right, what's up?
I guess what you guys were talking about. It's not gonna be the same. Might be a little different about protesting, riots, and all that. I'm just wondering. I mean, if I ever gone to a riot, which I never have, I think I would bring a pew pew with me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference between a riot and a protest, correct?
A riot and a protest? Yeah, there'd be differences.
Okay. Protest, I don't think I'm going to bring a pew-pew, though. I mean,
But legally you're allowed to, especially in a state where you can have concealed carry. You can walk around with it, no matter what. Even if you're just going for a stroll, you can have it.
Absolutely. I seen the video of the nurse. He was what did he work at the VA, Veteran Affairs?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I mean, they were showing a video. I guess did he spit on a cop or not, or something like that, or something?
Did he spit on a cop? You're talking the day he was unalived? I did not see that in the video. No.
Okay. Well, they did put him to the ground. They tried to grab it. And once the guy grabbed it and went off, and then they unalived him. Correct?
Yeah, they pulled it from him, and from my understanding, I believe it accidentally went off, and then the pew started from there.
I mean, that's like a second, reaction. But for somebody getting unalived for something like that, I absolutely do not agree with it.
So why did the Trump administration come out before they knew really anything about it and just off the bat said he was a domestic terrorist and that there was no issues on the agents, the officers or agents? Why is it that they said that prior to any investigation, any evidence?
I have no idea.
Do you think that was? Do you think that? Well, sure, but do you think that was I don't know, the smartest thing to do, or yeah? Do you think that was the best thing to do to speak out so soon?
No, they said investigated it.
Sure, I would agree with that.
Can I just point out there is no evidence that Alex Pretty's firearm went off. The person who took it had taken it out of his waistband and was a decent distance away by the time it went off. The DOJ have said that they found bullets from 2 firearms, neither of which was Alex Pretty's. And I think people were if you actually watch the video and you watch the direction that the officer who took the firearm looks in, he doesn't look towards the firearm that is in his hand as if it went off. He looks at the 2 officers whose firearms did actually go off. So there is no evidence whatsoever, not from the DOJ, not from the videos, that Pretty's firearm went off. People were speculating that might be the case because that particular firearm has a history of misfires, but there isn't any evidence that occurred in this situation.
Somebody in the tube. Hold on, one quick thing. 2 quick things actually. Superstar, thank you for the $1 on the green up with the C. You just said that you subscribe. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Pay links for the body if you want to show support. Somebody in the tube said, "Why do you need a pew if you know armed law enforcement are gonna be there?"
Well,
I don't know how to answer that.
It's your. I don't know. It's
a constitutional right for
my
one.
understanding is that it's a constitutional right. And in Minnesota, if you have a concealed carry permit, you are allowed to concealed carry. Where did all these anti-2A people come from?
They came overnight as soon as Trump told them to be anti-2A.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, man. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. We are looking for opposition. So do you want to respond to that, Brent? Or to what she said previously?
Okay. Yeah, kind of. I was supposed to say, does Trump is Trump the one that runs ICE? I mean, the agency, is it all 100% Trump, or is it? Another.
I mean, at the end of the day, obviously there's things downstream, right? There's gonna be right, Kristi Noem, but he at the end of the day is the president.
If this happened under Biden, or it happened under Obama, or it happened under Clinton, you wouldn't be saying, yeah, but they're not directly in charge of that agency. They're not the one that's. Ultimately, it's that person's fault because the executive branch runs the DHS.
Right. An example would be with Lincoln Riley when she was unalive. That, according to many people on the right, was Biden's fault. Ultimately, not even ultimately, it was just solely his fault. So I mean, so if that's his fault, then I think we can relate it to this. If that's his fault, then clearly Alex Petty being unalive, by that same logic, would be Trump's fault. If you're going to use that same logic.
But about the let's see, during Obama administration, I'm trying to remember. That was back 2008.
Well, yeah, 2008 to 16, but yeah. We're technically 9 to 17, but
when he had federal agents go in there and they unalive somebody, I can't remember. That was a long time ago. I'd have to look it up, but you didn't hear nothing about it, and I just.
I'm not aware of them unaliving any U.S. citizens.
Yeah, no, it was. Oh man, I can't. I'd have to look it up. It was something during Obama. I can't remember. It was something where they unalived a couple people. It was the
there were people. There were people that unalived in ICE custody while Obama was president, in like detention centers and stuff. However, I think it was 67 total in Obama's entire 8 years. That's like 7 point something people a year. Donald Trump has had 57, sorry. Donald Trump has had something like 33 or 34 unalive in a 1 year period. So he's had over half what Obama had in 8 years, unalive in 1 year. Plus,
I think it needs to be 0. None unalive.
Well, I want to.
Sure.
There's no. Okay. I think we need to understand that those. Nobody's claiming that those people were purposefully unalived in detention, right? But there is. We know, for example, that in Alligator Alcatraz, we know that people that were working there were leaving their jobs in droves because of the conditions that they felt they couldn't work in. If they feel they can't work in those conditions and they get to go home at the end of the day and they are not subjected to the conditions, they're just working there, I think we can make a decent assumption that for the people that were actually detained there, it was dreadful, right? So nobody's saying that either Obama or Trump has purposefully unalived those people in detention, but for there to be 33 in one, or 34 in 1 year, it does say that either there's something wrong with conditions or that they don't have the medical care that they require, because there's always going to be some people that unalive in detention, because you're going to have elderly people, you're going to have people with illnesses, and that you're never going to stop that from occurring completely. But the point is, 33 in 1 year is like concerning.
Yes.
Keep tapping and sharing, guys. We're looking for ops. Yeah, I think that's her whole point, right? That it's not on pace to be good at all. I mean, even not being on pace, just solely taking that year alone, that's not a good thing.
Now, what about the? I looked up a little bit of it, but the people that tried to attack ICE in, was it Arizona?
I don't know if I'm familiar with that. What is it again? I might know about it.
They try to attack ICE agents.
Arizona. Do you know anything about that, Eric? I'm trying to look it up. Well, listen, man. Before I even look into it, if you unlawfully attack someone, right, whether it be ICE or the other way around, yeah, there's consequences to it. I don't think anybody would say otherwise. Now I have to look into the details of it, but.
I think what you're talking about is that someone from a distance took aim at an ICE officer and ended up unaliving the the person that they were detaining rather than the person they had in detention rather than the ICE officer. Is
So I
that the
see. So
instance that you're talking about?
maybe he's referring to this. Somebody, Patrick Gary Schlegel, I don't know how to pronounce his name, was pew-pewed around 7:30 a.m. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. A man who the FBI said has a criminal history of human smuggling was charged with counts including assault Wednesday, day after he was shot and wounded by a border patrol agent after allegedly firing at a helicopter. Is that what you're referring to?
It could be. I don't.
Okay.
Someone told me about it. I looked it up.
Or was there something in Texas? Maybe you're referring to?
I just want to check, Doug. Did you say border patrol agent or paw patrol agent? Because it sounded very much to me like you said paw patrol agent. Rizzo, you are incorrect. Under the Obama administration, they put the cages up, but entire families were being kept in there. Children were not being separated.
Right.
Go and look up Donald Trump's policy to take children away from their parents. It was a literal Trump policy under his first administration, the child separation policy. You are incorrect.
Yeah, it's weird because it seems like all they ever do is repeat what he said, because there's that line of him during one of the debates saying Obama built the cages or whatever. And yeah, that's true. And I don't think anybody on the left is saying that that is a good thing. But like, if you're going to say that's a bad thing, then you must say separating families within the cages is even worse. It's a huge double standard. Guys, we're looking for opposition. If you voted for Trump, hit the request button.
So I've just double checked. I've just looked it up again. It was called the Family Separation Policy. And it was under Donald Trump's first presidency. So again, incorrect.
I was gonna. This is a whole 360 turn, but I've been hearing it here. Okay, Epstein. You know, I don't know. If
we can talk about it. Epstein. Try not to say his name on TikTok. They don't like it. Just say E or yeah. Just if you can.
Epster.
Just say E. Just say E or Jeff E or whatever. Yeah. If you can. Yeah. But what's up? What's up?
You know how they redacted. I mean, it's just. I mean, are they just trying to just save people, or I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, I've been reading, looking, watching.
There's a whole lot going on with that.
Oh, it's a very lot.
Well,
a lot.
And I think what's interesting. Well, I mean, first of all, disgusting. It needs to be properly investigated. I don't know if people watched the Pam Bondi congressional hearing yesterday.
I watched all 4 or 5 hours of it.
Yeah, but when the people that were victims who were watching stood up and said that the DOJ, they had all offered to speak to the DOJ, and the DOJ had never spoken to them. All of that is incredibly concerning, but. But in addition to that, all of this stuff that is coming out is bringing up other incredibly concerning things. I don't know whether anybody's looked into this, but there are Steve Bannon and JE were texting each other literally about overthrowing the British government. There's a guy who I follow called Lazy Lewis, who's a British political creator, and he's talked a lot about this, how they were trying to overthrow Theresa May's government, and eventually they succeeded. But I think this speaks to the fact that the people that historically Trumpers have thought are good are involved in what they would consider to be the deep state to quite a considerable level. Doug, I have to go put some kids on a bus, but I will be out of work in about 10 minutes, so I will come back.
Sounds good, Erica. I'll see you in a bit. Make sure you guys give her a follow if you can. All right, guys, we are looking for ops. Anyone that voted for Trump is good to the background, voted Republican, you're conservative, etc. There is a request button at the bottom of the screen. I don't know where we're at. I forget what you guys just last spoke about. I know it was in relation to Jeff E., but what was it about specifically?
It's about you know who Rosie O'Donnell is, right? Is it Rosie? No, Roseanne.
Yes, I know Roseanne is. Yeah.
Okay, she was doing a lot of talking on some videos, and to me, it's just if anybody else did this, they'd be gone. I mean, they'd be,
I agree.
And it's just these higher up, money's root of evil. I mean, but it's just higher up. Why are they protecting them?
I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons to it, some of which are probably very obvious. I think, I mean, it's just obviously easier to protect the people that you know, the people that you participate in things with. You're going to obviously want to protect them, but like, this isn't a Democrat-Republican issue, conservative, liberal issue, like nothing like that. Like, there are plenty of people in there who are left-leaning. There's plenty of people in there who are right-leaning, and they all should equally be investigated, and they all should equally be punished. Obviously, crime dependent. So this has nothing to do with whoever's in there, and it doesn't matter whether Biden or Obama or Bush or whoever should have looked into them in the past, right? 2 rights don't make a wrong, or 2 wrongs don't make a right. 3 wrongs don't make a right, whatever the case is. So no matter what did or didn't happen in the past, we're talking about today, right? And there's clearly a mass cover-up happening, right? There's clearly a resistance to want to put out the information unredacted. And like, we have to focus on today. I'm not saying we shouldn't throw criticism towards anybody else who was trying to cover it up in the past, left, right, center, whatever. Right? Like, I think like people need to like stop focusing on those things and look within themselves about their morals and ask themselves, do I want to protect somebody? Do I want to support somebody who is trying to cover up P3DOs? Like, is that a value that you want to have at the end of the day when you go to bed, and that you'd be proud to tell your kids and grandkids? If the answer is no, then maybe, as tough as it might be, maybe consider pulling support from people that are covering it up, left, right, or in the center. So
it's just I wish that one girl was on, the one lady. I talked to you last about the schools, the genders and all that stuff.
Oh, you mean Erica that we were just talking to? Yeah, she is a teacher. Oh,
it was
I'm not sure what you were talking about. Oh, Paige, maybe Paige. She has like an orange profile thingy, or Chris possibly.
Probably, yeah.
It's either Chris or Paige.
That's what they teach in school and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't have anybody in the request box. And again, guys, if your opposition hits the request button about mods, if you guys want to invite some, that'd be great. I mean, we can talk about that now if you want, or if you need to go, you can go too. Up to you. I'm fine. I'm fine talking still. I got nobody else to speak to right now.
If you go to, about a year and a half ago, I went to Walmart. I remember this too. I went with my wife, my 4 kids. My daughter, at that time, God, how old was she? She would have been 13 or 14, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around. And so, we're about to check out and everything. And, she said, I got to use the restroom. I said, okay, go ahead. Goes in there, and I see this person go in there, and, it looked like a male.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, hell no. So, I walk over there and everything, and, I'm not going to go in the female restroom. So my wife went in there, and a person was just standing in there. And then it came back out, and I went up I said, hey, aren't you supposed to use the other restroom? And then, I don't know, long story short, he said that it was a female, but it had a man voice like me and you.
Okay. And this happened recently, you said?
About a year and a half ago.
Okay. So what point are you trying to make with that? What argument or point are you trying to make with this story?
I couldn't pinpoint of what restroom that individual could have used.
Okay.
because I'm not that person.
Sure. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. I think at the end of the day, people use restrooms to either go number one, go number two, wash up, whatever the case might be, right? 99.9% of the time, it's one of those options, right?
Yes.
And I think regardless of whatever restroom you go into, I think the person should go into one that they feel most comfortable, right? And nobody's saying that there are zero incidences of inappropriate things happening. That happens. Some people are just shitty human beings, and that those things are illegal. I think at the end of the day, it would be best if we just had unisex restrooms with closed doors within the stalls. That would be the best idea. But given what we have now, I just think it's an issue that is probably far less. What would be the word? I think it's just far smaller than many people make it out to be being. All things considered. What's up, Emmy? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I just wanted to come up to offer some support for representation if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
But
please. Yeah,
you're
go
doing
ahead.
a great job. You're exactly right. I mean, there's not really any reason to police bathrooms, as far as like who's using them. All it does is create cases of discrimination and assuming people are whatever you think they are based on how they look to you. And it goes far beyond just discrimination against trans people, but it goes into discrimination against all women. Um, you know, um, Brent, I wonder why it's your business who's using the bathroom. I mean, I understand if your wife or daughter is in there, but why do you automatically assume that a trans person is harmful or dangerous and
That's
not
what I
just going to do
thought.
the same thing in there that your wife and daughter are going to do?
That's what I thought. I didn't say. I mean, that's what I thought. But I'm a nice person, so I'm really not. My daughter didn't scream, so I'm good. But so I'm not the one to go in there and yell or make a whole big old everybody looking and everything, scream and all that. But it's other people that I have encountered and witnessed. They'll their family members or whoever, they'll yell at them. But it's just to me it's, hey, you don't know what parts they have, you don't know anything, so why does that why
So
why
it
does
sounds
it
like
give
you're
you
you're
permission to
for
do it?
trans people using whatever restroom they feel
I don't
most
care what
comfortable in.
restroom they use.
Okay.
It
I'm
don't
just
bother me.
wondering why you're trying to bring this up then, because it's interesting that like you and Doug were having conversations about other things where he was showing you that you were wrong about them and you pivoted to transphobia for no reason because apparently you believe that I should be able to use the women's restroom and no one should bother me. Based on what you're saying here. So I wonder why you wanted to tell this story randomly in the middle of a debate about other topics.
Well, because me and somebody else talked about 2 days ago about schools
Right.
and
So why
certain
tell the
stuff.
story just because you had a conversation about schools the other day? What was the point of you bringing up this story? Is my curious as a trans person who's watching, fan of Doug, hang out here once in a while on with Doug, on his live here.
Okay, I'll
I'm
tell
just
you.
curious, kind of what your whole purpose in bringing up
Okay,
this
all right.
topic was. What did you want to get to? Like, what did you want opinions or feelings on?
Yeah, is there like an
Am I
overarching
wrong?
point?
Am I wrong?
For thinking that I should be able to use the women's restroom unbothered?
Am I wrong thinking that seeing a person that looked like a male going into the bathroom when my daughter was in there? Am I wrong for that?
Are you wrong for seeing someone that you thought might be a male? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what it could mean to like be wrong that your eyes witnessed something while they were open and pointing at it.
You mean for having I don't know. I don't want to put words in your
For
mouth, but
feeling weird
having,
about it?
yeah,
Suspicion. Yes.
I
Yes.
think yes, you are a bit wrong there, and
Now,
I
would I
just
be
want to tell
wrong
you
if I went up to the guy or the person and
yes,
confronted him?
yes,
that
Then
would,
I'd be
because like
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
correct?
yes, but
But I
even
didn't.
like having that
But I
suspicion
didn't.
is founded
Yep.
in
Yep.
lies, and this is the thing, Brent, that you need to understand is that even if you go back and look at Donald Trump in 2016, he said that he doesn't care which bathroom trans people use. He said that Caitlyn Jenner can use whatever bathroom she wants at Mar-a-Lago. He doesn't think it's that big of a problem. He thinks you should just leave it how it is. They can use whatever bathrooms they want. And I'm quoting that almost verbatim. If you play it, you'll see that he basically says almost exactly the same words.
Yeah, it's
maybe
basically
just
word for
slightly
word.
out of order. Yeah. He didn't care, right? And most people did not care about this stuff, right? Back in 2016. We weren't talking about trans people like this. What's interesting is, on one hand, you have no problem with it, but on the other hand, you're wondering if you're wrong for being suspicious, which tells me that you're falling for these or that you're surrounded by the words that would tell you that there's something wrong with it, and that's causing this suspicion in you. Here's the thing that I need you to understand here, Brent, is that you assuming someone else's sex assigned at birth ends up in a whole lot of situations, and this whole idea, and like, I just want you to see where your suspicion is coming from, or what it actually leads to, I'm sorry, is that women who are not trans end up getting hurt constantly because they don't fit into beauty standards that you think are appropriately feminine, right? And this is just not even talking the way that they dress, but talking about things like their bone structure, their facial structure. Do they have an Adam's apple that shows? Because guess what? That happens with women who are not trans sometimes, right? And so it's this amalgamation of all these things that you deem to not be feminine that make you suspicious. And what we have seen is story after story after story of women who are not trans being harmed in bathrooms by men who have gone in there assuming that they are.
Hold on.
So that's why I say yes, you're wrong for being suspicious.
Brent, before you respond, Barry, are you opposition?
I'm a hard right MAGA motherfucker.
I didn't hear you. Can you say that a little bit clearer?
I said I'm a hard right MAGA motherfucker.
All right. How old are you?
26, brother.
All right, man. So you can chime in onto this conversation, assuming that's why you came on up. Let's have Brent go ahead and respond, and then you can go afterwards, Barry, okay? So, Brent, go ahead and respond to what Emmy said.
I'll go ahead and hear Barry.
All right. Well, he's passing it to you then. Barry, go ahead. Barry?
No, you have a Barry, source on the women assaulted in bathrooms?
What's that?
Do you have a source of the women assaulted in bathrooms?
The ones I'm mentioning that I'm specifically bringing up?
Yeah.
Yes, I sure do. I can actually give you their names and tell you their stories. So the first one, let me pull up my note
I'm thinking
here, because I definitely have.
I could pull up.
She's giving the specific example.
We know that in 2025 there was over 100 trans people who have been unalived, whether it was through self-inflicted unaliving or through some sort of crime targeted at them, typically because they are trans. But let me just bring up, let me search for it here, because, okay. So I'll give you some names and stories here that you can look up. Jerika Mudra, Gerika Mudra. Her name is Jerika.
I don't mean to cut you off. I couldn't care less about their specific names and stories. I was wondering if you had something more of a statistic that I could look at.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, there aren't statistics on how many cis women have been harmed based on someone thinking that they were not cis, that they were trans, right? There is not a statistic on that, but there are actual cases that have been reported. So I can give you some names of those people. So Jerika, who is an 18-year-old, who was in the bathroom at Buffalo Wild.
Let me finish, and then you can respond.
Yep. Because here's the thing. I know you don't like to hear the actual names and stories of these women because it humanizes them, but I need to tell you at least this one story. Because this young woman was 18 years old when this happened to her. She was in the women's restroom, the bathroom that she's supposed to use. She was assigned female at birth. She was in there using the bathroom when a male employee came in yelling something about a man being in the bathroom. She was the only woman in there. He busted into her stall, and the only way that she could prove to him that she was a woman was to expose herself to him. That right there is an instance of a woman being assaulted by a man who thought someone was, and you can look this case up. Ainsley Baker in Boston, same thing. Let's just look at Iman Khalif, the boxer from the Olympics a couple years ago, who has now had so many lawsuits that she's won over people trying to claim that she is a male and trying to ruin her boxing career. Kayla Morton was a 19-year-old, is a 19-year-old who male officers entered while she was using the toilet and accused her of being trans. Danny Davis, who was fired from her job for using the women's restroom rather than the man who worked there as well, who went in there and yelled at her. I can keep going. Like, this is the thing. You want to ignore it, but so what would you say to these? Hang on, what would you say to these women that I just mentioned? If you had a chance, let's do this Pam Bondi style. They're standing behind you. Would you look them in the eye and tell them that what happened to them is justified because there might be one or two cases of a trans person harming someone in a bathroom?
Well, no, absolutely not. And I mean, you're not letting me respond with like a counter question. You just keep going on about these stories, and that's great. That's fine.
No, I asked a question, and I'm asking if you would look at those women and say that it's justified.
All right. Yep. And you're interrupting me.
You're allowed to respond right now. You are responding.
Well, yeah, but he keeps interrupting me. But
okay, it's weird that you properly gendered her, and you had to correct yourself to be a bigot. That was really weird.
But I think
wasn't that really weird? Don't you find that odd though? But don't you find that odd, Barry, that you have to me, host? Oh, of course I am, because I don't respect you. Yeah, you said her correct pronouns. You said her correct pronouns, and then you had a correct yourself.
Goddamn right. That is a man that thinks it's a fucking woman. Anyways,
why did you say the correct pronouns right away?
If we're not to look at the data, if we're not to look at,
yeah, that's it.
We are looking at the data. I just want to throw that out there. I know he's gone, but Barry, we are looking at the data. These people matter. They are real. If you only want to reduce them to numbers, that is shameful. It is also cowardly, and it is not masculine at all. It is something that is not even feminine. Being a coward to that level is fucking. It's animalistic. It's awful.
Yeah.
Actually, animals aren't even that cruel.
No, of course, yeah. Yeah, and exactly. He didn't care about the data at all. He didn't give two shits about that. He just wanted you to say something so he could then say whatever the fuck he wanted to say afterwards.
Mm-hmm. So, Brent, what would you say to the women I just talked about that have been harmed? Like, would you face them in a hearing like Pam Bondi refused to do to the survivors of E, or would you actually look them in the eye and say, like, I'm sorry that my bigotry and the things that are continuing to perpetuate this bigotry against trans women have harmed you as cis women? Which one would you go with?
It's sad what happened. I mean, it's sad. I
would you look them in the eye and tell them that, like, it's the bigotry that you hold that like no. I mean, yeah, because I mean, it's a bigotry that, like, it's the same bigotry that you also hold that has caused this, is what I'm getting at. Not that you.
Yeah, but I don't tell people that. That's just me. That's in my brain. No one can read my brain. That's in me. No one knows what I think.
Where do you get the idea that trans women would be harmful in a bathroom? Do you have data on that, or is that just something that you may have heard?
That's just a suspicion. It looks like a man going into the female's bathroom.
Can we get to the heart of it really quick? Why would you be concerned about a man going into a women's restroom? Could it be that because men are harmful to women at a massive scale?
No. It's because my daughter's in there. That's why.
Right. No. But what I'm saying is, why would you assume that the man, if a cis man walked into a women's restroom, or now because, like, let's say you want, like, trans men to use the women's restroom because they were born with a vulva, right? You want someone that has a beard, muscles, looks like Doug to walk into the women's restroom. Why would you assume that someone that looks like Doug could be harmful to your daughter? But you might not assume that about a woman, is what I'm getting at.
I'm
getting at the heart of this is all about misogyny. And it's all about, it's not about misogyny, it's about harmful men, right? Like, we know that 97% of all, like, rapes are done by men, right? Cis men. We also know that, like, all of the mass pew-pewings, besides, I believe it's been like 7 women and 3 trans people, have been cisgender men. Right? Like, we know, this is what I'm getting at, is you don't have a problem with trans people. You have a problem with the way men behave. Mm-hmm. You have a problem with the fact that we have a rapist and a predator in the fucking Oval Office, like in the White House. Like, you have a problem with the way men behave. And that's why you assume that someone who was assigned male at birth would be harmful around your daughter.
Yeah. Same reason why a lot of people, I guess men, women, whatever, would be afraid if they had a babysitter for their little boy or little girl, and it was a guy who wanted to be a babysitter, they would inherently be very skeptical, right? Because of the same thing that you just mentioned, right? They deep down know that men can be inherently a lot more harmful than women, and they have malintentions on everything.
Would you hire a 16-year-old boy to watch your 8-year-old daughter?
Right.
To babysit for her while you go out for an evening?
Well, it's funny, they deny that it's all men thing, but then they inherently know they don't want a 16-year-old boy as a babysitter, or they don't want a man in the restaurant with their daughter.
Right. They wouldn't want a 22-year-old guy, hanging out with their 11-year-old daughter.
Right.
Right? Like, they wouldn't want, obviously I'm trying to use children in different ages of men. You wouldn't hire them as a babysitter, but you'll hire an older lady, you'll hire a teenage girl.
Mm-hmm.
Brent, do you recognize this? Is this true? Would you hire a 16-year-old boy to watch your 8-year-old daughter?
Well, yeah, if the daughter wants to watch, I don't care.
What?
You wouldn't care if a 16-year-old boy from school who put up a babysitting flyer said he wants to babysit children. You would hire him to babysit your 8-year-old daughter. I think you're just saying this because you know that that's not true. But you're kind of caught in something here where you would hire a 16-year-old girl to watch your 8-year-old daughter, but not a 16-year-old boy.
Negative on that. No. I don't know. No. See, you're wrong on that. You're wrong on that.
So you would have a 16-year-old boy. So you would have a teenage boy watch your.
See, you guys are.
Would you have a teenage football player in high school watch your 8-year-old daughter for an evening while you went and watched a movie alone in your house? Would you do that?
What's wrong with me? Seeing my daughter go into a bathroom. There's
nothing wrong with you being protective parent.
Seeing somebody that looks like a male go into a female bathroom, I don't know.
I want you to know there is nothing wrong with you wanting to be a protective parent, Brent. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm trying to get you to realize, though, is that your issue is not with. Yes, you are a protective father. That is a great thing. You should be. I'm not probably more protective than my father was, to be honest.
That's the only thing. Okay, I don't care
what I'm saying here is I'm trying to get you to recognize. I'm trying to get you to recognize what you are trying to be protective of. It's like you're trying to tell me that when your daughter goes into the water in Florida, that it's not the fault of the alligators that makes you scared. It's just the fact that it's your daughter. That's the thing, is you're not recognizing the gators that are there. You are trying to say that it's just about your daughter. What are you trying to protect her from? It's men. It's not trans women. We don't think like y'all. Our brains aren't wired the same. We have studies on that. And if we're on hormones, it changes even more. Okay? I have always been a very motherly woman. Whether I was presenting as a male or not, I was always a very motherly person. I am not that kind of person. And we don't see cases of trans people hurting people in the bathroom like that. We do see cases of men harming women in bathrooms. What I'm trying to get you to see, Brent, is not that your issue is that you have a problem with being a protective father. That's a problem. I'm trying to get you to recognize what the threat actually is so that you can hold people like that accountable rather than electing them into the White House and setting an example for the rest of the country that this is not a deal breaker for you. You don't want a man in the bathroom with your daughter, but you're fine with him being in the White House when we know he has harmed fucking children.
So if it looks like a male is going into a female restroom, I'm not saying that person's a trans at all. I wouldn't think that. Or trans. I don't know. I don't know the TikTok language.
It's not the TikTok
language. It's just about being nice to other people. But I know you're not trying to assume that person is a trans person.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is that, where are you getting this idea that men in the bathroom would be harmful? And where are you getting the idea that trans people are the same thing as a cisgender man? Or would behave in the same manner? You need to look at the kind of media you're consuming, Brent, because they are all telling you this. But I dare you to go on, to swipe out of the app right now and find me statistics showing that this is a problem that needed to be dealt with in the first place. That it wasn't just about hurt feelings or people being uncomfortable because they don't understand, but it was actual trans people being harmful that said we need to make a law about this. Because I'll tell you, Brent, we already have laws for everything that would happen in that case. We already have laws against rape and indecency and all of these other things.
Guys, keep tapping and sharing. We're looking for opposition. If you voted for Trump, hit the request button. Brent, I see you in the request box. I don't know if you're opposition, but I'm only looking for ops. Go ahead, Brent.
Yeah, it just, to me, it looked like a male. That's it.
Yeah. So what was the problem?
I'm not assuming. Well, what if it was a male? I don't know.
Why? Okay, so if it was a man, we're going to use man because male could be referring to the dog sleeping next to me right now. Okay, we know when we talk about men that we're talking about like humans, right? So why would you be concerned about a man going into that restroom? I know your daughter's in there. Why would you be concerned about a man being in the restroom with your daughter?
That's up to you. It can reach really anywhere, but wherever if I can get that box as close to where
you got some
you
background
got really
noise.
Quiet, bud. Can't hear you.
And you got some background noise.
That's fine.
I think he's talking to someone else.
Yeah. Hey guys, keep tapping and sharing. Make sure you click the red follow button on the top left. Give Emmy a follow. Show some support if you guys can. I got the gift goal. Show a little bit. Send some gifts to Emmy if you want. Pay links are in my bio. It's a great way to show support. It's not needed though. And if you guys want to subscribe to me on the tube, that would be great. Currently streaming over there. I'm about to break 1,000 total views there for the first time. Although we're close.
Awesome.
If you guys can start watching me on the tube real quickly, that'd be great. I am 38 views away from getting to 1,000 total, which would be nice.
I never.
Brett, are you still there?
Was talking about the 16-year-old guy or 16-year-old girl watching the kids. I care less if it's a male or a female watching my kids. I don't care.
Okay, so why would you care about a man going into the bathroom then? If you don't care about a 16-year-old boy being around your daughter unsupervised for a couple hours in the evening, why would you be concerned about someone you think might be a man going into the women's restroom to pee and wash their hands?
Maybe because it's an age difference. I don't know. I mean,
okay. So would you? What if it was? What if it was a 30? How old are you, Brent?
I'm 45.
Okay. Do you have any friends your age?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a lot of.
Okay. Would you let one of your friends watch your 8-year-old daughter for a couple hours in the evening unsupervised in your home alone while you went out and watched a movie?
I know all of them.
Would you?
I know them. I
don't
know.
Think about your best friend. Think about your best friend. Would you let him stay alone with an 8-year-old daughter?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so it's not an age difference thing. So would you have a problem with your best friend walking into the women's restroom at the mall and knowing your daughter's in there?
Come on,
I'm just trying to draw a parallel here for you because what I'm trying to show you here is that you're not making sense. You're not being consistent, bud.
No,
I'm talking about like a man like your friend. Like say it's a man that looks like your friend walked into the women's restroom. Would you be concerned about that?
Is that my friend? Do I know him?
Sure, let's say it is. Would you be concerned about that?
Maybe.
The whole thing here is that you said it's an age difference thing. When I said 16 and 8, you said, well, maybe it's an age difference thing. So I upped the ante to your age, being alone with your daughter, and you said that you wouldn't be a problem with it. You said that you would still have a problem with a man walking into the women's restroom. But you wouldn't have a problem hiring a 16-year-old boy that you don't know to watch your daughter. This is what I'm getting at. Is
for 20 years he went in the restroom. I wouldn't care. I never seen this guy that went in.
So what if Doug went into the restroom? What if Doug went into the restroom? You can see Doug on screen right now. What if Doug went into the restroom that your daughter was in at the mall?
I would go in there because I don't know him.
Okay.
You're damn right I would.
But you would hire a 16-year-old boy from the high school that you don't know that wants to babysit to watch your 8-year-old daughter.
It's a high
You don't care if it's a man or a woman.
I don't care if it's a man or a woman. But that's
this is what I'm saying, Brent, is you're incredibly inconsistent.
No, it's at the house. I mean,
how does that make it any better? Wait, how does it being at the house make it any better? You're not going to be there. You're going to be gone. It's just that 16-year-old boy and your 8-year-old daughter, all the house to themselves.
You're half an hour away on a date with your wife. It's just them.
That's even worse than the restroom because the restroom is a 2-minute thing
no
where you can where you can go in.
Bedrooms.
We're talking about a 2-3 hour event where you're 30 minutes away. Very different. It's worse, actually.
How do you guys could put it like that? I mean,
Brent, would you trust Trump alone with your daughter? Would you
Trump?
Would you mind if Trump went into the restroom with your daughter?
If Donald Trump went in there, yes, I would. I wouldn't care.
You'd be okay with that, knowing that he has raped a woman.
No
There is proof of that. We know that his name is in the e-files over 4,000 times.
And
right? We know that he
He
has
was acquitted.
deep
His name was
ties.
acquitted.
No, he was not acquitted. No, not in the E. Jean Carroll case. He was not acquitted. It was ruled unanimous that he is liable for that, because I don't know if you know this, Brent, but when someone says that you're defaming them based on what you're saying, you have to prove that what you're saying is actually true. And he couldn't say that, he couldn't actually, and she was able to prove, that what she was saying was true enough for them to believe in a court of law, for 9 jury people of his peers, right, to believe that he did this. Therefore, what she was saying about him doing it was not a lie.
Not only that,
and that was not acquitted.
Yeah, not only that, but the e-files of and I get these are just testimonials, but there's testimonials of him doing horrendous, heinous things to young girls, right? We're talking like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls doing horrible things. Him also being the one who allowed for an unaliving to happen of a newborn baby, right? Just of 2 examples, and everything else we know about him. You would want him to be around your daughter?
We're talking about Trump, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where's the proof?
Yes.
I'm talking. They're in the e-files. I'm not. They're testimonials. So
okay.
I mean, how about just the fact that he was talking about how, at the Miss Teen USA pageant that he owns, that he's allowed to walk into the changing room. There's no men allowed back there, he said. There's no men allowed back there, but I can go back there because I own the place. Ha ha ha. Right? And I can see these women who are undressed. They were girls as Miss Teen USA pageant that he owned. He was talking about being able to go in and inspect it, and he's on camera saying this. You would trust that man in the bathroom along with your daughter?
Yeah.
The same man who talked about his infant daughter's breasts and said that she has her mother's legs, but we'll have to wait and see how my infant's breasts develop to see if she's like her mother. The same man that said that he would that the thing he has in common with his daughter, he said this on tape. You can go look it up. This has been out for 10 years.
Have you not heard this?
Dude. This was on TV. This was on national television.
Oh, gosh,
in an interview, he said this. He said to Howard Stern, he agreed that his daughter is a hot piece of ass to Howard Stern. Okay. He also told Howard Stern that what was the other one that he told? Maybe I already.
Well, he said
there's so many.
He has
I get
sex
confused on them.
He asked what he has in common with his daughter. He said sex.
Yeah, she said golf and he said sex.
Mm-hmm.
He told a 10-year-old girl that he would be dating her in 10 years. Why would you even be thinking about wanting to date a girl in 10 years who's only 10 years old?
Yeah, I think I might.
Or at any age. I think this idea of I have to wait 10 years for this tells you already that he's fucked in the head. Why would you even be thinking about that?
I think I might be able to play
it. Do you think like that?
No, I just don't know why this Walmart thing went all the way to Donald Trump. That's weird.
Walmart
Here, can you guys hear this? Can you guys hear? Can you guys? Did you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me play it then. I don't want to show it because I don't want to get flagged, and I'll play it. Yeah.
They even called him out for being creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan level creepy. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan creepy.
Yeah, that's how creepy it was. As creepy as Hulk Hogan.
That's a little weird that he said that, right? No.
Well, it's weird, but I mean.
Mm-hmm. You would trust him alone in the bathroom with your daughter when he thinks that way about his?
Yeah. I mean.
Really? Brent, I think that you really need to sit down with your thoughts here and like really like gather this stuff and maybe just stop like repeating the rhetoric, but like actually. So here's the thing, Brent. I like when I got married, like when I was like this was what 12 years ago now. When I got married, been divorced for 4. I was a Christian. I was in church. I was doing all kinds of stuff. I'm not going down a religious rabbit hole, but my whole thing with my wife was that we were going to build this life of ministry. And there was something deep inside of me that said, I've never examined my actual beliefs here. And if I'm going to go preaching this stuff everywhere, I need to be a person of my word. And I need to make sure that what I say is something I actually believe. So I went on a journey over 10 years of breaking down what I actually believe and confronting it head on. And I think you need to do the same thing here because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You are contradicting yourself constantly. And I think you're being incredibly dishonest when you say that you would trust someone with a record like Donald Trump's along with your daughter. I'm just going to call you out on that. Like, I know this is supposed to be like a debate, but like, I can't believe that you're serious about these things when you flip-flop so fucking hard. And now you're peeing. Now,
are you peeing right now
on the live right now, Brent?
No, I'm not peeing.
What is that water running sound?
My sink. Why would I be peeing?
I wouldn't put it past you based
We
on
see
your
some
previous
crazy
answers.
things on here.
No, I'm not peeing in a toilet. I'm sitting in my car.
What?
You have
Wait, you have a sink in the car?
No, it's the hose. Yeah.
You have a hose in your car. Brent, the last time I saw someone with a hose in their car, the garage door was closed. It was hooked to their tailpipe. Are you okay, Brent?
Yeah, I'm doing work. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good, but no, I mean,
he's got a sink in his car.
I don't look down on him at all. I don't do none of that.
I think he was peeing.
I don't think you looked down off.
I think he was peeing in like a water bottle or something.
No, I wasn't peeing.
Okay.
Nice
Alrighty.
thing.
Fuck.
What that sound is, but no.
Sink in this car. He's got a hose.
Can you
in
play
his
that?
car.
Make that sound again. If it's a hose or a sink, play it again. Or make it again.
I gotta take it again and do that.
Take what again?
I'm working on my car right now.
What are you doing
Inside
with a
of?
hose inside of your car that's like sounds like it's going into a bucket? Because that was water hitting water. We all know that.
Yeah.
Were you filling up a bucket to wash your car in the dead of February?
No, it's a coolant. It's my my coolant's leaking. My heater's not working, so I'm trying to flush it all out. And it comes out of the cockpit. You gotta turn it.
Okay.
The radiator. But I'm trying to flush it out. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
But no, we're definitely gonna have this conversation again because I gotta go because I gotta fly to the store real quick and get parts. But
got a sink in his car and he's flying to the store. Sorry, Brent. You got to understand, Brent. That's funny. I'm not trying to like dog on you. It's just Brent. If this was comedy, people like you understand this would be hilarious, right? Like
It is.
Okay. So it's not laughing at you. I just invite you to laugh with us because it's funny situation.
We're definitely gonna have this conversation again, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But
do me a favor, sit down with it though. Like actually sit down and take some time away from your screens, away from like everything, and just like be quiet for a minute and like sit with it. Maybe while you're working on your car, think it through instead of getting on another live, and just like actually see like, okay, why do I have a problem with men around my children in the bathroom? Is it men? Or is it just anyone? Because if it's only pointing to men, you need to realize where your actual problem is coming from. Is it's not about trans people or anything like that. It's about the issues we have with men in our culture. And the fact that like you assume that like there's a reason we say it's all men, buddy. You realize that? We say it's all men for a reason.
No. If my son went in the bathroom and a grown woman went in the bathroom, I'd go in there.
Really?
It don't matter if it's male or female.
Really?
My kids are in there. Yes.
You would go in there if a grown woman walked into the men's room and your son, your teenage son was in there?
You damn right I would.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
I want to protect my kids. That's why.
From what?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at, bud, is you don't know what you're scared of. You're fucking terrified, so terrified that you would go into a restroom if anyone of the opposite gender went in there with your child, you would go in there, unless it's Donald Trump, unless it's someone that we know is a fucking criminal, right? And has a terrible mind about how they think about little kids. You wouldn't mind if he went in there, but you would go in there if a grown woman walked in there. And you just said it yourself, you don't even know what you're scared of. How big of a coward and a P word, I'm sorry, but like I can't think of a better word right now, are you, that you are so scared of something you don't even know? That's not even evolutionary, buddy. I just need to tell you that. Like, evolutionarily, we developed fear so that we could like get away from predators that we know, right? We know what's a predator and we know what's not. You don't even know what your predator is, bud. Why are you so scared?
Protection of my kids. That's what it is.
But from what? You don't even know what you're scared of, bud. You don't even know what the threat is. So how could you protect them if you don't know what the fucking threat is?
Nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen. You don't even know what the threat is, bud. Here's the thing. If like, say you're on an intelligence agency and they say that there's a threat and you go, okay, how do we defend against this threat? And they go, well, it would really help to know what kind of threat it is, if it's by air, if it's by sea, if it's by land, right? What they're kind of using and stuff. And they just said, well, we don't know that. There's just a threat there. How are they going to protect themselves? They can't. You don't even know what your threat is. How would you protect yourself? Or your child?
I'm protecting. Exactly.
You're just scared, dude. This is pathetic. You're just scared.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what else would it be?
I'm sorry, Doug. Does he sound like he's not scared, Doug?
I don't know what else it would be. Like, what else would you call it if not fear and being scared?
It's no. It's me protecting my kids.
But based on what though? What's that emotion that wants you to do that? Right? Like, you don't just have that out of nowhere. It's based from fear.
No. It's just protecting my
fear of your child being harmed.
My kids are,
but the protection comes from an emotion. But the protection comes from an emotion.
Faggot. Shut up, faggot. I'm a vet, you bitch ass nigga.
But the protection comes from an emotion. It doesn't come out of nowhere, and that emotion would be fear.
No, it's protection. It's protect my kids.
Protect why?
These guys on the right, they're always so much about protecting. We got to protect our country. We got to protect our family. We got to protect ourselves against the tyrannical government, unless it's our government that's tyrannical. Like, you guys are all about protecting, but you don't even know where the threats are.
Hey, Dexter, are you opposition?
Sorry, Doug. I didn't mean to click that. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. No worries, man. Appreciate it. Take care. Okay. Have a good rest of your day.
Yep.
Guys, we're looking for options.
Brent,
If you
why...
disagree with the background.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
What's wrong with protecting your family?
So, Brett, there's nothing, like I told you earlier, there's nothing wrong with being a protective father.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with it. But I think that you're
What's wrong?
a bad protective father if you don't know what the threat is, if you don't know what you're actually afraid of. Here's the thing. When I go out of the house, I just went I just took a train to another city to see a comedy show, all that kind of stuff with my girlfriend who is also trans. When I go out and I get back, I'm exhausted because my head is constantly on a swivel. And I know where my threats are at all time, and I know what's a threat and what's not a threat. Okay? I can only relax in places that I don't feel threatened in because I know what my threats are. I'm looking over my shoulder because I know what to look for. You don't even know what you're looking for because you don't know what it is that's threatening to your daughter.
What are you talking about?
I don't think it's bad that you're like. So what I'm saying here is I don't think it's bad that you want to protect your family. I just think you're really bad at it. I just think you're really bad at it.
How am I bad at it? My kids are fine.
How could you protect them if you don't know what the threat is?
Because I'm there. If something happened, I'm there. That's what it is.
You're going to be wildly ineffective. You're going to be wildly ineffective.
Yeah, see, I don't.
Because here's the thing, like we look at like people who are trained, and even in law enforcement, they have to know what their threat is.
I have.
Right? They can't just go see someone out there and go, oh, that's a threat, let me shoot them, right? They have to go through a process that they've been trained on how to identify a threat. And all I'm saying is I don't think you're a very good protector if you don't even know what the threat is. And you need to realize that the threat is men.
For a year, I was in Iraq and all that. I have PTSD. Oh, yeah, he's fine. No. My family, I protect them. I react to it. I don't do
Yes,
nothing.
you are reactive.
Just
you are reactive. You just said it yourself. You are a reactive person, not a proactive person. And if you went to Boy Scouts, you would know that you should always be prepared. Right? Reactive is never a good way to handle a situation. It's always going to fail in different areas every single time.
So
proactive planning and thinking ahead of time of what the actual threat is what's going to save your family. You don't know what the threat is. You think that it's just anyone who you think might be a man going in there. You don't realize that your problem is with the culture that men have built around grape.
So
it's okay.
I got a
where it's not even a deal breaker for you guys. You guys excuse it.
You guys. So I have to sit there and we got to do a proper no. I don't think so.
Let me ask you this, bud. If your best friend that we were talking about earlier, okay, if your best friend was sitting there and he saw a young girl walk by, so like I went to the state fair. I live in New York. I went to the New York State Fair a couple of years ago with a friend who had just broken up with his girlfriend. And while we were there, this is before I started transitioning. While we were there, he kept on saying things. He would look at girls and go, "I hope she's 18. I hope she's 18. I hope she's 18." I called him out on that so fucking quick. Would you call your friend out on that if he was saying some shit like that, or would you just giggle along because she's walking around in something skimpy?
And you said she was 18 years old?
He was saying, he said, please be 18. And he was saying it out loud as if the things in his head were saying, she better be 18, otherwise I'm committing a crime in my head right now. That's what he was getting at.
That's disgusting. I'll tell him that. That's nasty.
Right, okay. See, that's the thing. That's knowing your threat. That's like actually being proactive and actually calling things out, because if you just let that kind of behavior go on, and you need to understand that this happens all the time. Donald Trump, even, we have him on recording saying that when you're a celebrity, you can just grab him by the pee and it's okay because they let you do it. And nobody in that group said, that's disgusting, stop talking like that. They enable it. It's the culture that we have around this where men don't stop each other. They don't talk about these things. They don't hold each other accountable. That's what you're actually afraid of. See, women, we hold each other accountable. My girlfriend was living with someone who was in her 40s and dating 18-year-olds, and she moved out. She said, "You're not getting my help with rent anymore. If you're going to do that kind of shit, I'm out of here." That's what we do as women. So, like, maybe start talking about the ways men are harmful rather than just you coming on live and being like, well, I'm just going to randomly tell this story in the middle of another topic about someone who I thought might be trans going into the bathroom. Remember, you said you have no problem with it, but now all of a sudden you're like wondering if like you're bad for having suspicions about it.
Well, yeah, is it? Well, yeah.
You're very because you are being misinformed about where threats are.
Joe, are you opposition?
Yes, I am.
All right, how old are you?
20.
All right, you can chime in. What do you want to say?
So, I feel offended when you say that I'm just, can I say that word? I'm an incel?
Yeah, we're sort of talking about a slightly different topic right now. Did you just join the live?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Okay, let Brent go ahead and respond, and then, because I would try to stay on topic if we can. So, Brent, go ahead and respond.
I feel like we're just going around in circles with
we are a little bit, but
probably be done with this soon.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, we can start a new thing. That's fine. Brent, yeah, I think we spoke long enough at this point. Okay?
That's fine.
All right. Take care. And stop peeing.
Take care, though.
Stop peeing in the car, whatever. If you guys are enjoying the live, click the red follow button at the top left. Follow Emmy. Yeah, I mean, that must have been peeing, right? I mean, you don't carry a sink?
No, it was a hose in his sink in his car sink, of course. He was filling his car sink with coolant, yeah.
All right, Joe. So you said you're offended by the background?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
So, I don't think that I'm an incel, but I do think that I'm against, Democrats, because a lot of them see people like transgenders and, not gay, but those are in the DSM-5, it's considered a mental disorder. So
false.
I don't agree with things like that, and that's why I'm a Republican. I'm a diehard Republican because I
But
do
it's not in
think
the it's not in
biologically
the
there's two
DSM.
genders.
Joe, it's not in the DSM being transgender.
I think it's a mental disorder.
Can you show
It's
it?
not in there, Joe.
So if it's not in the DSM, I think
Joe, have you
it's
read the DSM? Have you opened up the PDF
no,
online and like
I
looked at the most recent one and seen if it's in there? Because I
probably
have.
you know what? It probably got changed. It's probably not a mental disorder
It's
now,
never been in there.
but in Canada, you saw that yesterday, for
Well, hold on,
example, there was a guy
Here,
that a transgender guy.
Let's
We're not
Google
gonna
it.
pivot.
Let's Google it mid conversation. Is
Mhm.
transgender in the DSM? Can you see it here? No, being transgender is not a mental disorder in the DSM.
It's a gender dysphoria there.
Yeah, gender dysphoria. And guess what, bud? Plenty of people who are not trans have gender dysphoria, and they use gender affirming care every single day.
But how does one get to that point though? You have to be
Yeah.
mentally disabled.
No. So gender
Mentally-
dysphoria is just simply the distress caused by an incongruence between one's gender identity and their physical body, right? So men have this too, like men who are not trans have this too, where let's say they start losing their hair, so they feel like less of a man. So they go and they get hair plugs or take, medication for hair growth, right? That is gender affirming care caused by gender dysphoria. Or think about, I'm just giving you two examples here. Think about a teenage boy with gynecomastia, where a teenage boy would develop female breast tissue. So they go and have those breasts removed because it makes them feel way too feminine to have female breasts, right?
So you're saying that they're insecure about their body, correct?
So it's called gender dysphoria. It's the distress caused by the incongruence between your gender identity and your phenotypical sex traits. So that is what we're getting at here. It's a
Nothing
boy
with
developing
psychological?
female breasts. Yes, that's called gender dysphoria. That is a mental health disorder. But that is not the same as being transgender being a mental health disorder, because people who are not transgender experience it too. And not everybody who is transgender experiences gender dysphoria or experiences it the same way.
And that's the thing, right? That in the prompt it says that MAGA is a bunch of incels, but I would say that I'm not. And what you're describing me, losing your hair and all these insecurities, I would assume that that's what a incel will do.
So, you came up here being offended, so you're fragile, like it says. You also are uninformed because you didn't know what gender dysphoria is. You seem pretty angry about the fact that you've been called an incel. The only thing you haven't hit clearly on yet that Doug has on the background is misogyny. So, you're filling the profile really well, bud, and you're sitting
How
here
though?
saying that we're I just told you. You came up here telling us you're offended by being called an incel, which means you're fragile. You're uninformed because you didn't understand gender dysphoria, but you thought you could talk on it. You seem very angry about the fact that you've been called an incel. Now we're just waiting for the straight up misogyny.
It'll happen.
No, it's not gonna happen because I'm not a misogynist person, but also, I once asked a Democrat congressman if men could get pregnant, and he couldn't answer that question, and I was like,
You asked him that directly, or are you just referring to a video that you've
no,
seen?
I
that we've
asked
all
that because
What
also
Democrat
seen?
congressman? Who
in a
was it?
campaign.
Who was
I
it?
was in a campaign. It was like 3 years ago. I forgot his name.
You forgot who you asked the question to.
Yes, it was a dude here in Florida.
So you asked it, but you don't remember who. That
I think
doesn't really sound accurate.
I think 4 years ago. I think it was James Fisher back. I'm not sure. I asked someone though. I think it was him.
What did he say?
He said that he can't answer that question.
Okay, so why are you asking us to account for his answer? Why don't you ask us the question instead of asking us to speak for someone else that you don't even remember the name of? Why don't you have the conversation with us instead of him?
Because I remember that there was a person that asked a senator, I think that
But talk to us about it, right? We're not talking. To
Okay,
senators
okay.
here.
Let me talk to you guys about it. Can you guys tell me if biologically a man can get pregnant?
What do you mean by biologically can a man get
So,
pregnant?
for example, when you're born, you're either born with female parts or male parts, correct?
So are you asking if a male can get pregnant or if a man can get pregnant?
Well,
because they are different
yes,
things.
if a biological male can get pregnant.
No.
So why is that? Why is that such a hard answer for other people?
I can't get pregnant.
You can't get
I know
pregnant,
that.
right?
No, I also can't impregnate anybody, but that's besides the point. But no, I cannot get pregnant.
Yeah,
but a trans man can get pregnant, sure, and they're
trans
still a
men
man.
can get pregnant.
Yeah, they were born with a vulva and uterus and ovaries.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
they can
okay.
get
I
pregnant,
thought you
and
were
they are
talking.
men.
Yeah. So
Like
No,
this
see,
isn't
trans is-
a
just so you
this
know
isn't a
how, like-
complicated thing.
No, language is simple. Like if I
Okay,
say
so
a
what if-
tall man,
okay, let
hang
me
on,
put
hang
it
on,
up.
hang on, just really quick. If I say a tall man, you know I'm speaking about a man, right? Where I'm just describing a tall man.
You're
When we say a
describing for me a
trans man,
biological man.
we are just describing the type of man as being a trans man. So, like, I don't understand why you guys all get confused
So a
on
man
this.
biologically was born as a man.
No
Trans
one's
man?
born as
a
a man.
trans man. No, no one's born as a man. Your mother would explode. Man is a term referring to adults. Boy is a term referring to children. Male is a term referring to sex. They're all different.
So would you say that let's say me, right, and then I become I'm now a man,
Like me,
right?
I was born. I was assigned. So you're saying I'm assigned female, and I'm sorry, I was assigned male at birth,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trans. I'm a woman.
You're a trans man technically.
No, because again, you don't know how language works. Tall man does not mean that you are. That means that you are a man, right? Or a tall woman would mean a woman that is tall. A trans man is a man who is trans.
Okay, gotcha. So you're a trans woman and you can get pregnant, correct?
Correct. Although my girlfriend and I try all the time.
What the?
We're trying very hard right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you understood the.
Oh
he
no,
got
we were
offended.
literally just talking about it the other night. That like,
Did he just get
like,
offended
yeah.
by a joke?
He probably did.
What a snowflake.
I mean, it's a joke, but I'm also serious. She literally texted me last night saying, "I can't wait until like we can be like till next week when we can like try to get pregnant again."
Yeah.
So
wow,
it
what
is
a weak
joke,
man.
but, yeah.
What a weak man. Jesus.
Well, yeah, he's fragile. He's uninformed. He's angry as fuck. I mean, he fits incel because I can't believe any woman would want to touch them.
X-Ray, what's up?
Shit, man, I'm just getting ready for the day. I must have been tapping and accidentally joined in, bro.
Oh, you're good, man. No worries. Let me. I'll
right.
bring you back to the comments. Okay, take care.
All right, thanks.
Can you guys
Doug,
hear me
thanks for
scratching?
hanging
Is this
out.
loud? Is this loud? You guys can hear this?
Can't hear it at all.
I thought I heard it. I thought I heard the echo. I'm not bringing this next guy up. Do you see what their name is in the pro? Well, you guys won't be able to see, but the guy in the request box is. Oh, so you guys did hear it. The reason why I did, because the guest that was up, I heard it in the background. I'm like, shit, you guys have been hearing this the entire time? I feel bad. I'm sorry. The guy in the request box is named Jew Dude. Yeah, that's going to be a no.
It's probably only when you're talking and you scratch because the noise cancellation on the headphones, I'm not hearing it otherwise.
Well, hold on. What about now? Hold on.
Oh, yeah, very subtle. It's pretty quiet, though.
Anyways. I'll try to stop doing that, guys.
I've been up here with you for a little bit here. I don't like to hang out.
No,
for
you're
too
good.
long
I'm going to be
try
wrapping this up
limit
pretty soon
my
anyway. It's
exposure to this
ASMR,
stuff,
guys?
so.
If it's ASMR, then maybe I'll keep doing it.
That's
all right. Well, yeah, if you want to hop down, I can bring you back down. No worries. Make sure you guys give Emmy a follow, okay?
And thank you, chat, for the gifts and all the positive words in the chat. I always appreciate you guys. One of the best chats on TikTok by far.
Love to hear that. All right, Emmy, we'll take care. Have a good rest of your day, okay?
See ya.
Alrighty. You hear it on high def. I mean, it gets itchy. What do you want to do? It gets itchy. I am probably going to wrap this up, though, guys. I need to work out, and I don't really want to, and I just need to do it. But what will help keep me accountable is I will stream while I work out, okay? Sorry, not on YouTube. I can't do it on YouTube, but I will be streaming on TikTok while I work out, so you guys can at least ask me questions while I work out and stuff like that. So let me end this. If you guys enjoyed the live, click the red follow button on the top left. All subscribe to me on YouTube if you can. Especially if you're in it right now watching, subscribe to. If you're not, do it anyways. It's Dougielifts. Make sure you guys all join Discord. The link is in my bio. If the link doesn't work, shoot me a DM. Join the bulletin board by clicking my profile picture in the top left. I don't know if I'll be live later. I'll obviously let you guys know if I will. You can't get my YouTube views today. No, I don't think we broke 1,000, unfortunately. Like, it was weird because when the YouTube live first started, I had like 40 or 50 people watching, which is a lot compared to normal because normally it's not that much. So we didn't quite break 1,000 for total views, but it's okay. It's going in a good direction because I think the next highest before this was like 500, and then like it was 200, so it's going up. Anyways, 826. I'm very jealous of that. All right, I'm going to end this. I'll work out. It'll be in a little bit, but I'll stream while I work out. Again, you guys can ask me any fitness questions or anything like that while I do so, and I'll see you guys later, okay? Take care, everyone.